So,
Right. Are you able to maybe go to the ICI? So can you see now this is the ICI website?
yes, sir.
The WRC website.
Ha.
Perfect. Lovely.
All right. So we'll just wait for 2-3 more minutes so that all the CASAs can join. All right. I would like for all the CASA representatives to turn on the camera so that we can actually have some interaction before we start the session.
Okay, so this is like the pre-screening. Kya baat hai? Hi Harsh. Hi Kaushik. Kushal ji. Kya baat?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Hi. Good evening. It seems it's going to be a lot of fun session. You guys are making me more nervous now.
सर आपको कैसे नर्वस कर सकते हैं सर? So if everybody could, tell what branch they are from, because पहली बार हम लोग ने देखा है ना एक दूसरे को.
सर कुछ समस्या लेकिन सर अच्छा रहता है.
Ria, you can start the introduction part.
Yeah, sure. So I'm Ria Chaira, Secretary Surat branch of WICASA, and I'm so excited to see everyone today. I personally heard Hrudyesh sir before in the past, and he's such a brilliant speaker, so I can't wait for this session. I think Kaushik, you can also start with your introduction. Yeah.
Yes, myself Kaushik Thakkar this side, representing Gandhinam branch of WICASA. Had 3 years of experience with WICASA, and Hrudyesh sir से बहुत time से जुड़े हुए हैं. So again, so much excited for the session. Kushal, you can start. You can continue. Sorry.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Kushal Agrawal this side, MCM from Surat branch of WICASA. So this is my first interaction with Hrudyesh sir as well, and with every CASA members as well. So looking forward to a great tenure as well.
Kushal, just add on once any name so that it continues.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Wait, just a second. So, Jaitra Parekh, you may start, please.
Hello everyone, I am Jaitra Parekh, the Vice Chairman of Guwahati branch of WICASA. So this is my first interaction with all of you and Hrudyesh sir. So I'm very excited for the session and I'm looking forward for the session.
Am I visible?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, sir. कैसे हैं sir?
All well, all well. How are you, sir?
Yes, absolutely fantastic, superb, sir. Sir, sorry sir, थोड़ा ये मिस्टेक मतलब गलती से हो गया था. अभी जब नया सिस्टम है, थोड़ा ब्रांच पे बैठा था तो सीख रहा था सिस्टम.
Arey sir, so I'm so sorry, sir. In fact, I'm glad and thanks to you for taking this initiative, sir.
Sir, always, it's my pleasure. Thank you, sir.
Sir, so shall we start? I think 7:05 हो गया है.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
So we're live on YouTube as well, Ria?
That I will just confirm. Kushal, if you can confirm the same in the chat.
Yes, we are live on YouTube.
All right, great. So again, it's my personal request if everyone could turn on the cameras so that we could make it more engaging. Yeah. Hello. So hello everyone.
Sorry, Ria, just a second. क्या आपने साथ मतलब जितेंद्र संगलानी sir is joined us?
Yes, I think so.
Who? Jitendra
Jitendra,
sir? I can see him join, sir.
Yeah, he is there in the meeting.
Okay. Let me first just a second, sir. Let me confirm with sir first.
Yeah, sir. Yes. Because I can see him joined.
Yeah.
एक बार खाली check करो.
Shailesh bhai, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. Hrudyesh bhai, good evening.
Good evening, Jitendra sir. Kem cho?
All well.
Sir, shall we start the session?
Yeah, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, Riya. Yes, we can start.
All right. Great. So hello everyone. I am Riya Chaira, Secretary Surat Branch of WICASA, and I express my immense pleasure to welcome you all to this enlightening session that is Articleship Roadmap, guiding you through every step. It's organized by Surat Branch of WICASA in proud collaboration with several other dedicated CASA branches pan-India. So at WICASA Surat, we are constantly striving to bridge gaps and bring clarity where it's most needed. And recently, we've seen that there's quite some confusion when it comes to articleship opportunities as well as the formalities. So this session is not just crafted to give us clarity, but it is to empower us with right decisions. It is to empower us with a roadmap, because articleship isn't just a mandatory requirement, right? It is more that's more the very foundation of our professional journey. So to address all our doubts, we are truly honored to have with us our esteemed speaker, CA Hrudyesh Pankhania, as well as CA Jitendra Saglani, sir, to guide us regarding the same. Thank you, sir, for your gracious presence. And now I would like to invite CA Shailesh Lakhantia, sir, to give the welcome address.
Thank you, Riya. Am I audible? Thank you. First of all, our today's speaker, CA Hrudyesh Pankhania, sir, and our chairman, WICASA WRC, CA Jitendra Sanglani, sir, and the chairmen and the managing committee members of the CASAs across the India, that is from Bangalore branch, Bhopal branch, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar branch, Dhanbad branch, Guwahati branch, Ghaziabad branch, Indore branch, Raipur branch, and the last not the least, Rajkot branch, and of course the managing committee members of the Surat WICASA branch, and my future chartered accountants. First of all, a very good evening to all of you, and I welcome on behalf of the Surat WICASA on these sessions on virtual mode, which is on the Articleship Roadmap. Guys, friends, first of all, why these sessions? I share my experience with you guys. A few days ago, I was in meeting with my WICASA team, and I heard that the Surat WICASA team itself have lots of queries regarding the articleship joining, regarding the forms which are applicable to the articleship, the domain under which who explore their articleship during domain explore during their articleship. So my thought is that कि अगर MCMs को अगर ये दिक्कत आ रही है, तो just think about the students, other students, and that moment the managing committee WICASA Surat branch that take the initiative to host these sessions and the plan these sessions. These sessions, the whole sessions planned and the organized by the Surat WICASA team, managing committee members himself by them. And friends, one more. I want to share the ideas, but my experience with you. That is why these sessions is important in our life, in our CA's life. Articleship plays a crucial role. Articleship gives us to improve our communication skill, our presentation skills, and learn of human minds, particularly what kind of clients we have in future, what types of clients we have in future, how to deal with these clients. With these all things we learn during our articleship. So this is the crucial and importance of articleship. And articleship teaches us to make and to improve ourselves in a level that we can handle our worst to worst situations in our life. So guys, friends, we all know that in other domains like doctors and the engineers, we used to heard that the students of these engineers and doctors field are used to suicide. In our profession, we particularly look in our professions, the ratio of suicide is almost zero. And I can say no one can suicide. Why? we all are busy. We are all engaging during our articleship, busy in articleship. So the importance of articleship and the main motto and the things for doing these sessions is to what and at what level this articleship importance to in our CA's life. With this motto, we have with us speakers CA Hrudyesh Pankhania sir, and our mentors, our chairman WICASA WRC CA Jitendra Sanglani sir. I welcome once again you all. Over to Ria.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite WICASA WIRC Chairman CA Jitendra Sanglani to give his words of wisdom.
Thank you so much, Ria. Chairman of Surat branch of WICASA, and to be chairman in future, Shailesh Pankhania. Along with the entire team, so I will be privileged to introduce to the entire team very soon. We'll be having an orientation, so I look forward to that orientation as well. The speaker of today's session, who actually seems very small, very young, but he's a big package altogether. And when it comes to say the mentoring students, I think he's the best person we have. I still remember he became the regional council member, and I was the chairman in 2022, and we had an opportunity to invite him, and it was a wonderful session. Hrudyesh, I still remember their memories are very strong in my mind. Thank you so much for joining here, and various CASA teams that have connected from entire India. I see many names here, and I hope that people will be joining in, pouring in, and will be taking the advantage of this session. Friends, to start with a small story for you all, I just wish to engage you all with a small story. So let me start this way. There was a balloon vendor. Say he was actually distributing gas balloons. आपने भी बचपन में लिए होंगे. So there was a small chap just looking at that balloon vendor, and he was looking at all the balloons. He goes to the vendor and says, "Bhaiya, every balloon that you have, I don't see a black balloon." तो वो बोलता है कि बेटा ब्लैक बलून भी है. तो बोलता है भैया जब सब बलून ऊपर जाएंगे तो ब्लैक भी ऊपर जाएगा. तो भैया बोलते हैं कि हाँ बेटा, कलर से कुछ नहीं होता है, बलून के अंदर क्या है उससे सब होता है. सो आई थिंक द मैसेज इज वेरी लाउड एंड क्लियर. हमारे अंदर जो है वही हमको ऊपर लेके जाने वाला है. इट्स नॉट द कलर दैट वी हैव, द वे वी लुक, द वे वी say present ourselves. Obviously these things matter. I don't say that these things do not matter at all. These things definitely matter. They have their significance in life, but at the same time it is what goes in, and that is what takes you up. There is one more story for you all, and I think that is an apt one for this occasion. So एक गांव था, वहां पे एक दुकानदार था, और पुराने जमाने की बात है. So he was actually say having that, वो तेल का दुकान होता है ना, तेल बेचता है, छोटा छोटा पैकेट बना के तेल बेच रहा था. And there was a Swamiji who was passing by. He saw this particular vendor, the shopkeeper, and he goes to him और उसको बोलते हैं कि बेटा 2 मिनट टाइम निकालेगा. तो बोलता है स्वामी जी आप देख रहे हो कितनी लंबी कतार है, आई डोंट हैव टाइम. तेरे भले की बात है, प्लीज टेक आउट सम टाइम एंड बी साइड एंड विल सिट टुगेदर. तो स्वामी जी ने उसको जब बहुत फोर्स किया तो दुकानदार ने बोला चलो ठीक है स्वामी जी, आई विल कम विद यू. अंदर जाके बैठता है स्वामी जी के साथ में, और ध्यान पूरा दुकान पे है कि लोग लाइन लगा के खड़े हैं. और स्वामी जी एक चीज निकालते हैं, बोलते हैं कि बेटा इसको पारस मणि कहते हैं, इसको जब किसी लोहे की चीज से छुएगा तो सोना बन जाएगी. तो वो बोलता है कि ठीक है स्वामी जी, आप मुझे दे दीजिए, मैं इसको यूज कर लूंगा. तो बोलता है बेटा मैं तुझे दे रहा हूँ, बट देयर इज एन एक्सपायरी डेट व्हिच इज ऑफ 6 months. So keep this with you for 6 months. When I'm back, I want this in one single piece and I'll carry again with me. तो वो जो दुकानदार वो बोलता है कि ठीक है स्वामी जी, आप एक काम करिए, बगल में वहाँ पे एक छोटी सी अलमारी है, उसमें उसको रख दीजिए, मैं जैसे समय मिलता है मैं उसको निकाल के यूज कर लूंगा. Now this guy, he was busy and he started again with the same business of dispensing the oil. So गुजराती में कहते हैं तेल पड़ीनो धंधो. So he was actually busy with that तेल पड़ीनो धंधो. And continuously he was engrossed in that. So that day passed by, and by evening when he was back home, he just realized that he missed that paras money. Next day आता है, next day भी जैसे ही वो सोचता है कि पारस मनी को यूज करता हूँ तो दुकान पे कतार लगना शुरू हो जाती है, एंड ही अगेंस्ट स्टार्ट्स डिस्पेंसिंग द ऑयल। जैसे एक दिन गया वैसे दूसरा दिन जाता है, दूसरा गया तीसरा जाता है, हफ्ता निकल जाता है, महीना निकल जाता है, 6 महीने निकल जाते हैं। उसको बीच बीच में कभी कभी वो पारस मनी याद आता था, लेकिन 6 महीने के बाद उसको पारस मनी याद आना बंद हो जाता है। नाउ 6 महीने बाद वो स्वामी जी वापस आते हैं और उनको लगता है कि अब तो वहां पे एक बहुत बड़ा महल बन गया होगा, बिकॉज ही वाज लाइक विजुअलाइजिंग कि उसको मैंने पारस मनी दी और उसने उसका तो क्या कर लिया होगा। So now the Swamiji is coming, just visualize he's coming in front of this, he's very close to the shop, sees the shop और उसको लगता है ये तो वही पुरानी शॉप है। तो उसको लगता है कि शायद यहाँ जो उस बंदा था वो कहीं और शिफ्ट हो गया होगा, उसने कुछ बड़ा बना लिया होगा, तो he might have sold this shop। थोड़ा पास में जाके देखते हैं, बहुत सारी कतार भीड़ दिख रही है और उसको वही बंदा फिर से दिखता है, and he is astonished। उनको लगता है कि क्या हो गया, what has happened। So he was wondering, और वो जाते हैं उनके पास में और बोलते हैं बेटा पहचाना। तो अब 6 महीने बाद में एक बार जिस पर्सन को देखा अब तो रिकॉग्नाइज भी नहीं कर रहा है, तो बोलता है लाइन में आइए, लाइन में आइए। तो बोलता है मैं तेल लेने नहीं आया, मैं पारस मनी लेने आया। तो अचानक उसको जब पारस मनी ये शब्द सुनता है तो उसको लाइट लगती है, उसको लगता है कि कुछ स्पार्क होता है उसको। बोलता है हाँ कुछ दिया था आपने। तो बोले कहाँ रखा है। तो वहीं पड़ा है जहाँ पे आप छोड़ के गए थे। और वो जाते हैं, वहां से वो पारस मनी निकालते हैं, देखते हैं उसमें बहुत सारी धूल चढ़ी है, बहुत सारे बोलते हैं ना कि धूल मिट्टी सब जम गई है, उसको साफ करते हैं और इस बंदे को अलग से खींच के बोलते हैं कि 2 मिनट आ जा। वो धंधे में से बाहर निकलता है, 2 मिनट आता है और बोलते तेरे पास कोई लोहे की चीज है। तो उसके बाद बड़ी मुश्किल से 2 कील निकलती है, पूरे दुकान में सिर्फ 2 कील थी, बाकी कुछ नहीं था। उसको टच करते हैं और वो सोने की हो जाती। अब इसकी आंखें 4 हो जाती, उसको लगता है कि मैंने क्या मिस कर गया। और वो बोलता है स्वामी जी प्लीज, हाथ जोड़ता है, प्लीज मुझे आज ये फिर से दे दीजिए। तो बोलता है बेटा 6 महीने दी थी, 6 महीने इंटू 60 इंटू वट एवर डेज इट इज लाइक। तो बोलता है कि इतने मिनट दी थी। तो बोलता है स्वामी जी प्लीज 5 मिनट के लिए दे दीजिए, बगल में ही रेलवे लाइन है, वहां जाके उसको टच करके आता हूँ। तो बोलते हैं नथिंग डूइंग, इट्स एन एक्सपायरी डेट, इट्स डन। स्वामी जी निकल जाते हैं। लेकिन मैं चाहता हूँ कि आप में से यहाँ पे इतने सारे लोग बैठे हैं, अलग अलग ब्रांचेस से आए, आई जस्ट वॉन्ट यू टू से कपल ऑफ वर्ड्स। यू आर लर्निंग, इट्स यू आर लर्निंग, आपका वर्जन इस स्टोरी के बाद में। सो सर मैं आप दोनों को नहीं पूछूंगा, मैं इन स्टूडेंट्स को पूछना चाहता हूँ, एंड एनी वन ऑफ देम, एनी 2 of them, if they come forward and say something about this, whatever they have learned out of this, I think we'll have a wonderful session। आपका attention grab करने के लिए था, and I hope it will be like a enlightening one as well। So anyone, Jaitra, Kaushik, Kushal, even Ria for that matter, time is money, articleship experience is very invaluable, right? So life में पारस मनी जो है ना, आपके सामने आपके शैलेश सर बैठे हैं, ये पारस मनी है। इनके साथ आप जुड़े हो, आप सोना बन जाओगे अगर इनके साथ में साल भर अच्छे से काम करो। हृदयेश सर बैठे हैं अगले 1-1.5 घंटे के लिए, ये पारस मनी आपके लिए, ये आपको सोना बनाने के लिए आए हैं। आपके पेरेंट्स, आपके आसपास में आपके दोस्त जो भी अच्छी बातें करते हैं वो सब पारस मनी आपके लिए। सो यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड हु ऑल आर पारस मनीज इन योर लाइफ। लेकिन एक इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट ये है कि किसी एक को गुरु बनाइए, किस एक को गुरु बनाइए, बी दैट अ स्पिरिचुअल लीडर, बी दैट अ मेंटर, एनीवन, एंड इफ ही और शी सेज समथिंग यू हैव टू फॉलो इट। और पारस मनी को प्रिजर्व करिए। टाइम इज ऑब्वियसली मनी, टाइम इज प्राइसलेस, but the people around you are more priceless even than the time. And I look forward that you appreciate this moment, be in this moment, learn most out of it. And I think I already crossed away my time, so I'll not take much of your time. You are here to listen to Hrudyesh sir, but wishing you all the very best. Be this a very successful event, and look forward to meet you all in many sessions after this. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for your story, sir. Incredible story, and I'm sure we all learned from it. So yeah, now I request Mr. Harsh to MCM Surat WICASA to continue the session.
Hello, am I audible? Okay, thank you, Ria. A very good evening to everyone present here. This is Harsh Goyal, the MCM at WICASA Surat. For everyone, WICASA is Western India Chartered Accountant Student Association. But for me, it stands for a different meaning. W stands for where. I stands for inspiration. C stands for cultivates. A stands for aspiring. S stands for student into. And A stands for achievers. So the whole meaning is of Vikasa Surat is where inspiration cultivates aspiring students into achievers. Here, achiever doesn't stand only for the rankers, but for the people who have an all-round development. For us, Vikasa Surat is not just a committee, but a platform for the CA aspirants, by the CA aspirants, and of the CA aspirants. Under the guidance of our compassionate mentor and a dedicated team, Vikasa Surat organizes various conferences, trips, webinars, seminars, and workshops, along with mock tests as well, along with the national conference. These events provide CA aspirants with a holistic development, not just to pass exam, but to become an exceptional professionals. Surat Vikasa fills the void, and not just Surat Vikasa, but every Kasa in the India fills the void of CA students who are not able to enjoy their college lives due to the academics. So by organizing such sports events, we fill that void too, like the turf cricket, the pickleball, and many other various sports as well. In last month, Surat Vikasa has organized a one day event in which one day sports event in which more than 150 students participated. I want to speak more about Vikasa Surat, but अगर अब मैं बोला तो मुझे कॉल से रिमूव कर देंगे. So at last, I want to say, those who want to serve the CA community by any means, the CASA is the platform to approach. Thank you all. Jai Hind, JICI. Over to you, Riya. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Harsh, for your words. And now I request Mr. Kushal Agarwal, MCM Surat Vikasa, to introduce our guest speaker for today.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Riya, for kind words. So it's a great pleasure to host you, sir, for this absolute event on to guide us for the Articleship Guide Map tour. So, sir has been involved as the former RCM for the Western Region Council for the tenure of 2022 to 2025. His commitments to the profession and the aspirants is been is properly evident through its guidance to a people of more than 1 lakh faces individuals. Beyond his professional qualification, Sir also provides as the co-founder of the Meadow Group, organizations that fosters the unlocking of the potential of an individual's fostering growth. His dynamic presence is also felt in the realms of the public speaking, events management, and conferences. This session promises insightful experiences from Hrudyesh sir. We look forward to many more such events like from you. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to CA Hrudyesh Pankhania. Over to you, sir.
Sure. Thank you so much. Riya, Kushal, can we get started?
Yes, sir.
Lovely,
Sure.
lovely. Thank you so much. My voice is very clear, Riya, Kushal? Lovely. Great. Thank you so much. I think, first of all, excited for this amazing session that we've kept as Articleship Roadmap. Let me first of all thank Shailesh Bhai. Thank you so much for actually planning this session. I think much needed of the hour. I think it's been needed always. So thank you, Shailesh sir, for organizing this, planning this, and setting up this entire thing. Also, my regards to Jitendra sir. Thank you so much for being present, Jitendra sir. And I think the Parasmani story that you said, that was definitely an icing, on the cake. Just to, I could just think, while sir was talking about the story before I get it started, I think all I just realized is, as sir said, in terms of who is your today's Parasmani, it could be Shailesh sir, it could be me, it could be Jitendra sir himself, it could be your Articleship sir, it could be parents. Realizing that all of us, we come in each other's lives for a specific period of time, right? We meet each other for a specific period of time. It could be An hour currently, it could be a year, it could be your bosses for 3 years of articleship, currently 2 years of articleship, or otherwise, or some friends maybe. The most important thing is, do we learn the best thing from them in that particular period? I think we want to just start with that. Are we learning? We all are aware that none of us, हम कोई अमर नहीं होने वाले, right? But the time that we all of them are there in each of those lives, are we taking the best time just to start with that, right? So I think first of all, once again, I think this entire way we've organized this webinar in terms of Meet and YouTube live, I think kudos to the entire Surat WICASA team. Thank you so much, and all the branches who've joined, all the CASAs. I can see more than 10 CASAs have joined: Bengaluru, Bikaner, Bhopal, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, Dhanbad, Guwahati, Ghaziabad, Indore, Pune, Raipur, Rajkot, Bhilwara, and I'm sure more. Thank you so much for joining in and planning this up. Thank you, Kushal, for that excellent introduction of mine. Thank you. Thank you, Ria, for that amazing moderation with all of us. Thank you so much. And the entire team of all the CASAs who I can, see so many over here with me who've been there. And a lot of us are viewers on the YouTube as well. Thank you so much for joining in. To just start with, I think just one last line for Surat. I think, Surat has always done things in a very different manner always. And so is today's session. The way it's been put up, via the Google Meet and to YouTube. That's amazing. And I remember the first time when I had come, that was 3 years back for a student conference. And regards to our current WRC chairman Ketan sir, I remember visiting with him in the first year when he was a WICASA chairman. I think me and sir were awed with the things, the way coordination at Surat we had done. I think मतलब ऐसे खून में है मुझे लगता है. So to all the MCMs of Surat and all the other CASAs MCMs as well, thank you so much, and thank you once again Shailesh bhai for having me for this session. So to plan with articleship, right? So the way we said articleship roadmap, I'll just quickly maybe share my screen. Give me a moment. And second, and the screen. Lovely. Is my screen visible, Ria?
Yes, sir.
Lovely, lovely. Okay. Articleship importance, right? Now the question becomes most important is, now if you're wondering, am I going to look at PPT in this next half an hour? Let me tell you, no. To just start with this PPT, just to show you this presentation, if you can see this, right? Now the entire presentation, if you now realize, is been made by AI. The whole idea is, where are we? And that's why I just opened this presentation, and I'm going to be back to you. Lovely. Okay. So the question becomes is, why do we need an articleship for all of us, for all the students who are watching us live? Can somebody quickly tell me a difference between an internship and an articleship? A CA is not known as internship, but an articleship, right? Can somebody tell me an internship and an articleship difference? Who've joined me along with me here on the Google? Can somebody quickly tell me a difference between articleship and internship? Not allowed to Google right away. Anyone? Anyone? Okay. Articleship is majorly something that you're going to look at very specific, learn specific for a longer duration, right? Typically, in a lot of courses, we do internship of 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. But an articleship period is for 3 years, of course, now 2 years, to learn specific things in a much more organized way, specific way. Now, why? The entire CA course ka tathya is being based on articleship, so that everything that you've studied in CA Inter and that you're going to apply in CA Final, you can actually practically understand during your articleship, so that you know practically things. If we look at a lot of times, articleship or internship in other courses have to be done after final. हमने पढ़ तो लिया सब कुछ, but practically कब apply करेंगे? And that is why the most important thing is in terms of CA articleship. And that is why it becomes most important. So a lot of students, come across कि अरे यार 2 साल का डमी आर्टिकलशिप कर लेंगे, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? फर्क बहुत पड़ता है. एंड इसलिए मैंने जो अभी प्रेजेंटेशन स्टार्टिंग में दिखाया that it was made by AI and not me. Earlier, we used to make a presentation, open a PowerPoint, slide में हम जाके लिख देते and make it, right? Today, when it comes to terms with, there are a lot of AI tools available which will make a presentation in 5 minutes, correct? The question is, शायद उस presentation से हम चीजें बोल भी देंगे, but how much do you know yourself practically? That is always going to be the key. आप शायद first time तो कर लो. So just to quickly tell you, so my father had a business of saris and he always believed giving good quality material, quality clothes to the customer. Why? He said कि भाई अगर quality नहीं दिया तो आज पहली बार तो आके जाएगा customer, शायद माल ले जाएगा, but next time he won't be coming, right? So शायद आप भी, in case if you've not involved content within you, शायद अच्छा presentation इधर उधर से उठा के सब कर लोगे, what next? शायद first job भी मिल जाएगा, what next? Right? The whole purpose of articleship is going to be how much in detail you know things, and that is why the whole term of articleship. Now the entire thing becomes is, are you genuinely doing articleship? So articleship, let's start what, where, and how should you be doing articleship. So in the first little half, I'll try to focus on what, where, and how articleship, and then we get to the registration process. Now, so very typically, I'll give you an example. जैसे currently CA final exams are instead of twice a year, it's been announced it will happen 3 times a year. So November 2025 exam got shifted, either September 25 में दो या Jan 26 दे दो, correct? A lot of students, the entire planning got unstructured कि अब करे क्या, right? Can you think and tell me why? Because we always start with the end in mind. मेरे को पहुंचना कहाँ है? अगर मेरी नवंबर में एग्जाम है तो मुझे पढ़ाई कब से शुरू करनी है? मेरी सितंबर में एग्जाम है तो पढ़ाई कब से शुरू करनी है? जैन में एग्जाम है तो पढ़ाई कब से शुरू करनी है? अकॉर्डिंगली छुट्टियां कब से लेनी है? पोर्शन कहां तक खत्म करना है? करेक्ट है? सेम गोज विद आर्टिकलशिप ऑल्सो. डिपेंडिंग आपको सीए बनने के बाद व्हाट वुड यू वांट टू डू? नाउ देयर आर प्लेंटी ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटीज अवेलेबल आफ्टर बिकमिंग सीए, राइट? द एंटायर क्वेश्चन इज what would you want to do after becoming CA? Accordingly, things you need to plan up during your articleship. Now, the question is, a lot of people may be confused, right? Because a lot of things are options open over here. Instead, I'll use a better word, not confused, but you want to explore a lot of things maybe, right? So typically, articleship could be done in what things, right? Maybe I could go for a big four. Maybe I could join a mid-sized CA firms or a small, practitioners that I could join in, right? Now, depending on what I want to do after CA, I need to join firms accordingly during articleship. So the question is, if I'm very sure that after becoming CA, I want to do a job and specifically in a particular domain. So let's say somebody likes tax, कि इंटर में समझ में आ जाता है कि टैक्स है. अभी आप बोलोगे तो समझ में कहां से आएगा? इंटर में we are studying everything. आप अकाउंट्स पढ़ रहे हो, आप फाइनेंशियल मैनेजमेंट पढ़ रहे हो, आप कॉस्टिंग पढ़ रहे हो, आप लॉ पढ़ रहे हो, आप ऑडिट पढ़ रहे हो, करेक्ट है? आप टैक्सेशन पढ़ रहे हो. सो आपको कौन सी चीजों में ज्यादा मजा आ रहा है? सो इफ यू अंडरस्टैंड कि हमको टैक्सेशन में मजा आ रहा है, जिंदगी में 30 साल टैक्स में काम कर सकते हैं. सो यू बिकम वेरी श्योर कि भाई आई वुड वांट टू वर्क फॉर माय 30 years in life in taxation. So if you go and pursue your 2 years of articleship in the entire taxation, it's absolutely all right, right? If you think कि मुझे आगे चल के जॉब फिनेंस में ज्वाइन करना है, so if you do your articleship in anything under that makes you understand finance. Now finance starts from balance sheet starts from audit. It's absolutely all right. If somebody thinks over, I want to get into practice after becoming CA, either directly after becoming CA or maybe 1 or 2 years I want to maybe do a job and just pick up some capital and then want to get into practice. What becomes important in practice is, at least at the outset, that you're understanding everything. Even after a point in time, maybe you would want to get into niche of a topic, a niche of a subject, that you would want to put, maybe master in particular thing, maybe international taxation, maybe valuations, maybe international tax, GST practice, or anything else. So then, but starting में तो आप सब कर रहे हो क्योंकि आप client को क्या दे रहे हो, right? So to start with the end in mind, कि what would you want to do after? So my suggestion is, in case if you're very clear while you've done your inter कि भाई मुझे CA बनने के बाद ये specific field में जाना है, then it's all right to choose in 2 years of articleship or one particular topic जिसमें आप articleship कर रहे हो, right? However, in case if you're not very sure and you are like, अच्छा मुझे तो accounts भी पसंद है, मुझे tax भी पसंद है, मुझे audit भी पसंद आ रहा है, and देखते where does life take me, right? What becomes more essential in these 2 years? What are these 2 years? These 2 years are allowed to explore and learn everything for me, ताकि सब कुछ चीजें मैं देखता जाऊं कि मुझे क्या क्या पसंद आ रहा है, practically do, right? And that is why it becomes most important कि मैं multiple चीजें करूं, right? So this becomes 2 part. Now let's get into articleship में क्या चीजें करें. So getting into the first type of firms are big fours. Because we are all aware there are 4 big fours, right? Deloitte, KPMG, EY. What did I miss? Deloitte, KPMG, EY, and PwC, right? Lovely. So now it's a very stated rule that if you're getting into a big 4 or maybe the top 10, 20 firms of, in India, probably they'll put you in one department, correct? Now, as we spoke, if you're very sure, if you would want to work in one particular department, कि जैसे मेरे को tax पसंद है और 30 years in life मुझे tax करना पसंद है, it's absolutely all right to go and work in 2 years in taxation, understand all the practical, realities, and then get into the taxation field. However, if you were unsure, and if you get into a big 4 and you work for 2 years in tax and you realize, अरे यार अभी tax नहीं करना है, what happens is practically you do not know finance, practically you do not know audits, right? आपने theory में तो audit पढ़ लिया, ऐसा ऐसा होता है, but practically कैसे आता है वो नहीं. And then when you go to a CA, after becoming CA in industry, it becomes difficult. So only join into a big 4 in terms of a particular department when you're very sure, correct? Now, the next is if you're joining a mid-sized firms. So as I said, if you want to explore, you're trying to understand and work in multiple mid-sized firms where you are possibly trying to do a lot of things, right? Now, the fields that you're trying to explore in, maybe of course, audit and assurance services, as you said, a lot of taxation in terms of maybe direct taxation, corporate tax, international tax, a lot of those things. These days, in terms of when you're working in mid-size or maybe, or even big 4s, you get a lot of things to work in today where ESGs are, working ahead. Maybe a lot of international business consulting is happening, right? A lot of students today would want to get into, after a point in time, maybe a lot in financial markets, in terms of equity research, portfolio management, all of these things. Now, a suggestion to all of these students, you try to search कि मुझे articleship इस particular field में मिल रही है क्या नहीं. If I'm very sure that I would want to get into, let's say, core valuations after becoming CA, right? Or maybe in equity research, am I getting particularly articleship into that? If I'm not getting, or rather, my suggestion is going to be that can I start from basics? Let's say an example, मुझे equity research करना है, correct? What typically would you do in equity research, right? Would you will try to understand the entire company का पूरा बैलेंस शीट, पूरा एनुअल रिपोर्ट, तब जाकर के समझ में आएगा कि वैल्यूएशन कैसे हो रहा है, करेक्ट है? Now to understand whether everything is correct or not, if you've audited such companies during your articleship, right, it gives you a better judgment to understand that, correct? And that is where the entire crux is going to be. So we have done smaller things. I'm very sure of understanding those things कि भाई better कैसे कर सकूं. Today, a lot of new profiles are available when we talk about maybe, in terms of AI. Very recently, I was attending a career fair and they had this entire 1-year course on AI and machine learning. We're talking about financial planning, mental health, we're talking about cryptos, right? The question becomes is, do I get such fields during articleship? Specifically, not all the firms, right? All the firms may not get you that you are going to do these things in articleship. However, the base will work and start from this. The question becomes is कि क्या मुझे क्या मिल रहा है versus what do I want. A lot of students have not actually thought कि भाई मुझे articleship के बाद CA बनने के बाद क्या करना है. So whether you have started your articleship or maybe you are giving your inter or you're going to start, my request to all of you is going to be think which type of things you would want to get things done. Now let us talk about when we talk about whether scope is available. Let us understand scope is going to be available in every field, the field that I could be best. The question is, am I going to be average or I could be best at a point in time? Example, I believe today when we say, अरे यार financial market में बहुत scope है, investment banking में बहुत scope है. लेकिन आपको investment banking कितना समझ में आता है, आपको financial market में कितना समझ में आता है. If now you do not understand that best way, how much ever that scope is going to be there, you will not be at best position, you will always be at average position. The question is, for me example, in my early age, I understood that taxation मेरे से नहीं होगा. क्यों? Because हर 6 महीने में सरकार बोलती है नया taxation में कुछ नया amendment आ गया भाई. Right? निर्मला सीतारमन जी currently आ जाते हैं कि 6 महीने बाद ये चीजें बदल गए. Correct है? और मेरे को क्या है ना, मेरे को एक बार दिमाग में मेरे प्रोफेसर ने फिक्स कर दिया ना भाई, A for apple, B for ball, C for cat. तो तू मुझे A for apple या A for कुछ और सिखाएगा, it will always be fixed as A for apple. Correct है? 3 golden rules of journal entry were taught to me by my professors. That is still fixed in mind. Correct? 5 heads of income were taught to me in inter, in CA inter, right? In taxation. वो fix हो गया भाई. मुझे पता था वो change नहीं होने वाला ना. गवर्नमेंट आकर के आज तक तो 20 साल में तब तक नहीं बोला है, 15 साल में जब से मैंने सीखा है कि 6th head of main income भी आ गया. I hope we are at 5 heads of income, right? I don't do tax. Can you say? Thank God. It's not changed, right? So 5 heads of income मैंने learn कर लिया भाई, ये है भाई set है. Correct है? ना उसमें फिर तुम बोल दोगे अच्छा सैलरी में ये नया सेक्शन आया, ये नया सेक्शन आ गया, ये नया पर्पस है. It doesn't happen with me. So then I realized, however, I have got somebody, a very close friend of mine, उसको एंड मुझे ऑडिट समझ में आता था, तो मुझे ऑडिट में मजा आता था, राइट? उसको ऑडिट में उसको बोलते ये क्या कर रहे हो तू यार, एंड उसको टैक्सेशन बड़ा पसंद है बिकॉज उसको नया नया चीज करने में समझ में आता था. सो ही लव्स डूइंग टैक्स एंड ही यूज्ड टू बी लाइक व्हाट आर यू डूइंग इन ऑडिट. नाउ ईच ऑफ अस आर वायर्ड डिफरेंटली. द क्वेश्चन इज वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड कि हमको क्या पसंद है. अब लोग बोलते अरे सर हमको समझ में ही नहीं आता हमको क्या पसंद है. अरे कैसे नहीं पसंद है, कैसे नहीं समझ में आता? डू यू अंडरस्टैंड विच सब्जी डू यू लाइक? करेला पसंद है क्या नहीं, आलू पसंद है क्या नहीं, भिंडी पसंद है क्या नहीं? डू यू अंडरस्टैंड? येस और नो? थोड़ा कमेंट में लिखो यार, चैट में लिख लो, यूट्यूब पे लिखो, डिपेंडिंग ऑन वेरेवर यू लाइक. लेट मी नो, डू यू अंडरस्टैंड विच सब्जीज डू यू लाइक और विच फ्रूट डू यू लाइक? येस और नो? लेट मी नो इन योर यूट्यूब चैट और वेरेवर यू आर. राइट? समझ में आ रहा है? करेक्ट. व्हाई? कब समझ में आया? देयर आर 2 ways that you understand things. Number 1, because you tasted that. करेक्ट? आपने शायद पहली बार करेला खाया और समझ में अरे यार ये नहीं पसंद है भाई, ये ना हो हमसे. करेक्ट? या तो इतने फ्रेंड्स ने बोल दिया कि करेला ना बहुत कड़वा होता है इसलिए नहीं पसंद है. There are 2 ways only that we understand. One is by ourselves, one is because लोगों ने कहा. Better is always, लेकिन काफी बार ना लोगों ने कहा could be different from what you tasted. Correct है? There are people, so just taking an example of करेला, there are people who likes करेला. Yes, no, आपके पास कोई तो एक आधा दोस्त होगा जो करेले की सब्जी बहुत चाह से खा लेता है. सो मम्मी ने अगर करेले की सब्जी दी तो आई नो फ्रेंड को खिलानी है मेरे को, राइट? लोग कह रहे कि करेला कड़वा होता है यार, नहीं अच्छा लगता है. स्टिल इसको तो पसंद है दोस्त को. वाई? बिकॉज उसने चख के देखी एंड उसको पसंद आई. Exactly what I'm trying to say is, when you are doing articleship, a lot of people may say, अरे यार ये काम नहीं, वो काम नहीं, ये नहीं, ये नहीं. You will have to might be doing yourself. That is where this entire 2 year of articleship you're trying to explore and see. Give me just 1 second, guys. Sorry. So that is where it becomes most important is कि यार आर्टिकलशिप में सब समझ के कर रहे, चीजें कर रहे या नहीं कर रहे. right? And that is why it is going to be important. So what now the crucial becomes is, so my suggestion to each one of you is just very quick things, and before we get to the forms and everything, if you're unsure or if you want to explore, do an articleship from a small mid-size firms, maybe where you are allowed to do a lot of things in terms of maybe right from audit to tax to maybe valuation to something to smaller things. Unless you're very sure कि मेरे को particularly ये करना है, right? Then choose a firm accordingly. Now, of course, whether you join a big four, whether you join a mid-size, small-size firm, each one of will have its own advantages and disadvantages, right? So now what do? You need to weigh down which advantage is becoming better for you, right? आपके लिए best क्या है at that point in time, you need to, each one of us need to understand, right? So that's about in terms of getting into articleship at the outset. Now there is something known as industrial training. We'll talk about the articleship forms also. There's something known as industrial training. Now, what is industrial training? So जैसे CA articleship you are supposed to do in CA firms, correct? So we new course में 2 years of articleship में, or earlier 3 years, we get registered under a CA in a CA firm. ICI Institute allows you to work in companies, in corporates, right? When in the last year of articleship, minimum 9 months, maximum 12 months, right? So it allows you to work in corporates. Why? So 1 साल CA firm में articleship, तो lot of people जैसे starting में confused थे, हमके कहाँ क्या करना है पता नहीं है. So now when you are understanding कि भाई अब मुझे समझ में आ रहा है कि मुझे ये चीजें समझ, because 1 year you worked in multiple things, now you understand कि practically कहाँ क्या करना है, right? So the question is, institute then says कि no problem, you work in 1 year in corporate, right? Whether in taxation, whether in financial markets, whether in valuations, whether in project finance or anything, so that you could start getting into those fields only completely. So industrial training is an option that allows you to work in a corporate company during that particular 1 year, minimum 9 months or maximum 1 year. Okay, just give me Samiksha, you've got a question, go ahead. Okay. Okay. Yes, Ria?
Yes, sir. Actually, I have a question regarding this. So when we say that we're doing articleship at some big four or big six, aren't those also corporate like, or is it because they're a firm, or what exactly? I didn't actually get it.
Okay. So when you're doing an articleship in a big four or a big six, they're like corporates, but they are CA firms, right? And industrial training is supposed to be working in a company, corporate company. And in that corporate company, of course, you're registered under a CA, but you're working in a company as good as an employee of that company. Of course, they pay you comparatively more. So an articleship, the minimum stipend given by institute is 4,000, 5,000, where today's time, a lot of firms have started giving 8,000, 10,000 also. An industrial training company may give somewhere close to 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 or 60, 70,000 also. That is what is industrial training. So a corporate company, right?
All right.
Lovely. Super. So we'll get to the forms and everything as well. Yes, Vinay, go ahead.
Sir, I have a question to ask. Like many people do their articleship in the first year from a mid-sized firm, and the next year they join some big four. So is it like equivalent to articleship, or the industrial part is different? Like if we go for industrial at EY at a big four.
No. So, okay, one second. Yes. So you cannot do industrial training at EY. You can do articleship at EY. That's what I'm saying. EY is what? It's a CA firm. Yes.
Yes.
करेक्ट है. इंडस्ट्रियल ट्रेनिंग मतलब क्या, आप आर्टिकलशिप सीए फर्म में से निकल के अभी कोई कॉर्पोरेट कंपनी में जा रहे हो, लेट्स से बैंक ऑफ अमेरिका, ठीक है, या लेट्स से डॉयचे बैंक और एनी प्राइवेट लिमिटेड कंपनी, राइट? नाउ जब आप वहां जा रहे हो तो आप वन पर्टिकुलर थिंग में काम कर रहे हो. सो जैसे कि एन एग्जांपल, आपने 1 ईयर ऑफ मिड साइज आर्टिकलशिप फर्म में काम किया हुआ है, यू हैव डन ऑडिट, टैक्स एंड एवरीथिंग, एंड नाउ यू रियलाइजिंग कि नहीं मुझे फाइनेंशियल मार्केट्स पसंद है, मुझे उसमें जाना है. And let's say you get an industrial training working for last 9 months or 1 year in Bank of America. correct hai? In terms of their portfolio management related things or equity research related things. That is what is industrial training. That is a part of the articleship of 2 years.
Actually, I asked this question since I have seen a person mentioning that he's doing industrial training in UI. That's why I asked this question.
No. So he would be registered. What I'll tell you. So what would be that happening was he would have been registered in some company and just working there.
Okay.
Registration has to be in a company only. You cannot do, industrial training in EY as a CA firm. It has to be in a company. Right?
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Lovely. No problem. Sure. Go ahead. Okay. So that's about industrial training. Yes, Ishwari. Go ahead.
Good evening, sir. So I had one confusion and one doubt as well. Suppose it happens that I don't have the knowledge of all the domains and I don't know which exactly I like. So in the first year, I join a mid-sized firm and I understand all the work. Then I understand that I want to do specialization in audit. But now the thing is, I have done like 10 months, 11 months, and before 12 months, we can take a transfer. But now I have only 1 year left. And I wanted to do specialization also, and I wanted to go for industrial also to gain the experience of corporate. So don't you think that in the 2-year articleship now we are somewhere having a loss that someone wants to go for industrial, he cannot go. I am confused for mid-size also, and then I cannot do specialization also. So like how can we solve this or like something?
Give me 1 second.
Sure.
So you are saying आपको इंडस्ट्रियल में भी जाना है and
+1 to Ishwan.
Sorry, what did you say?
I say I do have a same confusion.
कि इंडस्ट्रियल में भी जाना है और इसमें भी जाना है. Hold on. Can I just allow me to share my screen? Are you able to see the screen?
Not really, sir. Okay, now it's visible.
Can you see the YouTube?
Yes, sir.
Perfect situation. Sir, I think audio is not audible.
So there's no audio?
So firstly, you have to stop sharing and then go again on that share screen and you have to select the use system voice.
Sorry. Acha, the audio has been getting sounded. Acha, I'll have to share the audio as well.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hold on. Only. No problem. Okay. Now the entire crux of saying this is, while of course I understand that a lot of you would, but I'm sure though you did not get an audio, I could see a lot of reactions by a lot of students, right? Now, so the question is, we would want to do a lot of things, right? कि यार चीजें ये भी करना है, वो भी करना है, वो भी करना है, but we all need to understand that what is this 2 year or 3 year for? To just understand the basics. And I get these students, imagine, so I teach at MBA colleges also, and उनको ना 2 to 3 months of internship होता है. And they come and say me, अरे यार हमको तो बहुत कुछ करना है. But these 2 months or 3 months for them is to just get a feel of the corporate life at that point in time for them as an intern. Same goes for us as well. As somebody, right, as I think Ishwin asked me, कि first year मैंने ये काम कर लिया, मुझे second year में ये वाला चीज भी करना है, please understand, you're going to work for next 30 years, right? कोई भी कितना भी बोल ले कि अरे यार मैं जल्दी रिटायर हो जाऊंगा, कोई नहीं रिटायर हो रहा। वो धोनी को लोग बोल रहे रिटायर हो जाओ, रिटायर हो जाओ। ही इज लाइक अभी मेरे पास 9 महीने और है नेक्स्ट आईपीएल के लिए, अगर मैं फिट रहूंगा तो मैं खेलूंगा। आई होप एवरीबडी सीन दैट, राइट? Right? He's like, I have, so it will all decide on my body at that point in time. Or nobody is ready to retire. Why? The question is, we would all want to keep on trying and doing things ahead. So now the question is, that is why I said in articleship period, if you're yet not, this is what something I would want to do, then keep on doing multiple things in a firm where you're, getting to explore. When you're working in a small mid-sized firms, तो आप टैक्स के टाइम पे टैक्स कर रहे हो, ऑडिट के टाइम पे ऑडिट कर रहे हो, अदर टाइम कुछ और आ रहे हो, जीएसटी के टाइम जीएसटी तो पूरा टाइम ही चालू रहता है, तो हम जीएसटी तो हमेशा ही करते रहते हैं, राइट? सो अलग अलग टाइम पे आप चीजें कर रहे हो तो, बट व्हेन यू वेरी श्योर, दैट्स व्हाई आई गिव यू एन एग्जांपल कि आपने फर्स्ट ईयर आपने खत्म अंडरस्टूड कर लिया है, मिड साइज में काम किया, थोड़ा थोड़ा सब कुछ कर लिया, एंड देन यू अंडरस्टैंड नहीं भाई ये सब मुझे पसंद नहीं, आई वुड वांट टू गेट इनटू लेट्स से फाइनेंशियल मार्केट्स, right? Equity research. And then if you're getting, an industrial training of 1 year or 9 months in, something related things, get ahead with that. Absolutely not a problem. That becomes the best. But if you're yet not sure, then do not get. Let's say an example, if you plan to get into practice at the outset only becoming CA, या एक आध साल में, what becomes very much important is that you've understood everything. And more than that, see, please understand, so जैसे आजकल हम बोलते हैं ना कि किसी ने, when somebody starts an entrepreneurship of its own, every practicing CA is what he or she is an entrepreneur himself, right? Or herself. उन्होंने खुद से, imagine हम जब bootstrapped capital, चीजें बात करते, खुद से चीजें शुरू करके, anywhere से, work from home से लेकर के, offices कहीं से भी शुरू करके शुरू करा है, on entrepreneur himself or herself, right? So if you are planning to start and practicing CA yourself, becomes most essential. Getting an office and starting an office or getting work from clients, right, is an art and that's itself. I think I was fortunate that my boss in my 3rd year also taught me how to get clients. I think really fortunate, thanks to my, boss, right? In fact, I've always praised every, chartered accountant, in spite of knowing that this article working with me could become my, competitor. After becoming CA, he or she is ready to share everything with us, right? Just imagine, all of us who are doing articleship, our firm में हमको सब पता रहता है, right? And we are more excited to know firm, sir क्या कमाते हैं, घर में क्या है, सब कुछ है, correct? Right? We're always there. That is the way we, class faculty की हम fees calculate कर लेते. I think first, second day तो बच्चे वही जैसे ही देख लेते, अच्छा यहाँ पे 100 बच्चे हैं, तो हम द फर्स्ट थिंग इज वी कैलकुलेट ऑनलाइन, भाई इतनी फीस लिए, इनसे इतना ही खर्चा होता है, इतना तो कमा रहे होंगे। फिर हम टैक्स भी गिनना शुरू कर दे, जैसे ही इंटर में टैक्स आ जाता है हम वो भी करना शुरू कर देते हैं, राइट? सो लाइफ इज गोइंग टू बी टू लॉन्ग, सो ओनली गेट इनटू अ पर्टिकुलर थिंग व्हेन यू आर वेरी श्योर। व्हाई? बिकॉज अदरवाइज क्या दिक्कत हो जाती है ना, प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड, दैट्स व्हाई आई सेड कि इंटर्नशिप में ऐसा नहीं होता है। जब 2-3 महीने चीजें होती है ना, तो मुझे समझ में आता है अच्छा ये चीज मुझे नहीं करनी है, राइट? दैट्स व्हाई आई सेड कि मिक्सर में जब आप सब एक्सप्लोर करो तो आपको समझ में आता है अच्छा टैक्स कर लिया मुझे नहीं पसंद है, ऑडिट कर लिया शायद मुझे ये पसंद है, ये ऑडिट नहीं पसंद है, और समथिंग एल्स, सो देन यू अंडरस्टैंड। However, as I said, if somebody is, very sure कि मुझे job particular type में करना है, he or she gets into a top firms, big 4s, big 6, big 10s, and working in a particular department, lovely, not at all a problem. Of course, you get a brand name, but as I said, each one will have its own advantages and disadvantages as well. And at the end, please understand, all of us, whether किसी ने big 4 से करा, small size से करा, mid size से करा, industrial training से करा, we all will be happy provided we are doing things that we are liking. नहीं तो विल ऑलवेज बी अच्छा उसने क्या किया, शर्मा जी का बेटा ज्यादा अच्छा है, राइट? सो दैट इज ऑलवेज गोइंग टू बी देयर, राइट? आई होप आई हैव सॉल्व्ड योर डाउट, ईश्वन. Yeah. Any other question? Lovely. I think that's going to be the best way if people keep asking questions. So do we have any doubts in terms of this articleship or which field or anything before we get quickly to the forms? Go ahead, Navya.
Hi, sir. Good evening.
Hi. Go ahead.
This is Navya from Bangalore branch.
Hello, ma'am.
I have one doubt, sir. Can we enroll for CA final and complete SPAM or advanced ITT or OC training even before starting articleship?
No. Sorry. You're saying
we can enroll for CA final and complete spam advanced IT OC training even before starting the articleship?
No, OC, do you mean MCS and not OC?
Yes, sir.
MCS, right? No, so currently, if we, okay, I'll just get to these type of questions. So what is the current things that Institute has said in this now 2 years of articleship? The moment I have given an inter exam, correct? When I'm in inter exam, so whether I've cleared inter or I'm yet awaiting results, I can do my orientation course of 15 days and my IT training of 15 days. Because that is a mandatory requirement to start the articleship, correct? So when I'm awaiting results, या मैं results inter का clear कर लूँ, तब मैं ये दे रहा हूँ, and then I can start my articleship. Requirement of articleship is very simple. You should have done 15 days of orientation course. You should have done 15 days of ITT, and आपका inter दोनों group clear हो जाना चाहिए. You should have cleared your CA inter, correct? Now you get registered, of course, CA final during that point in time, and get started with your 2 years of internship, 2 years of articleship. Now during your 2 years of articleship, you need to do your SPOM. Right? The 4 papers of SPOM that we have to do. Now in the new course, the advanced ITT and the MCS course, right, can be done not during this 2 years of articleship, but only after completion of 2 years of articleship. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? So only that time you could do. Correct? And why? Because after I finish 2 years of articleship, there should be a minimum gap of 6 months to give my CA final. Now, this entire rule has been changed because earlier, after one of the groups of clearing of inter, we used to start articleship, right? And during this 2.5 years before we give CA final, we used to do MCS training, we used to do advanced ITT. So we had to always go on leave, taking leaves from the current, articleship period, which had always created a lot of issues otherwise. So Institute said, let's do unbroken articleship. 2 years of continuous articleship, no leaves at that point in time, no other things, you're focusing on only articleship. That is why this entire thing is. So MCS, advanced ITT can only be done after 2 years of articleship. Right, Navya?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, I have one more doubt.
Go ahead.
Should we start our articleship with a particular domain? Or should we get into explore in multiple domains for a couple of months and move to the particular domain, sir?
Okay. So according to me, that's why I started the entire session. If you're very sure that you would want to work into a particular session, area, then it's all right to start into that and not otherwise. Just say a lot of people today, these days, maybe you may be getting an articleship in a valuation type department as well. If you're very sure you would want to get into core valuation, now somebody who is sure, a lot of their maybe fathers, are into CA practice already or into, so ghar mein, there is a, house things about valuation, what this, and what happens actually, right? Then that you would want to work particular in this. You've already, if your father is a practicing CA, what happens in his office in terms of audit, tax, everything, and you realize that this is not something that I like, right? And you would want to work, let's say, in valuation, then it's all right to go specifically into valuation. But let's say somebody like me, who there was nobody CA in the family, and of course I would, first time I'm studying audit, first time I'm studying tax and inter, and I'm like, let me understand what do a CA practically do in this. I went into a small mid-sized firms to understand how things work practically, right? So depending on what I would want to do, that's what we'll have to decide accordingly, right?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, go ahead, Ashwin.
Sorry to disturb you again.
No,
sir.
nothing disturb. More than happy. So I think the more questions we keep on taking, we start covering those things. Go ahead.
Sir, one thing is constantly hindering me from some time, and I would like to take your personal take on that point. Like, I think in 3-year articleship, it was more beneficial for articles and less beneficial for students, as we had exams after 3 years.
Correct.
And now Institute has done 2-year articleship, so it is more beneficial for students as they'll have exam earlier in 2 years, and less beneficial for articles. It is because in 3 years we had the hierarchy system, like we had first junior, then senior, then super senior. But now in 2 years we have junior and एकदम से super senior. तो बीच का जो hourglass structure की तरह middle level गायब ही हो गया.
True.
So, sir, I think this is a bit less beneficial for articles, though it is beneficial as a student. So what
Correct.
is your personal take here?
Okay. No, so as I said, see, there are a lot of, I'm sure when institute went from 3 years to 2-year articleship, there would have been a big debate at institute level also, correct? So each one of us would, when it became 3 years to 2 years, I'm sure a lot of CA firms, came in, कह रहे यार बच्चे 3 साल के बदले 2 साल ही रहेंगे अभी हमारे पास, करेक्ट? और किसी को फिर इंडस्ट्रियल ट्रेनिंग जाना है, उसको तो 1 साल में ही चले जाने का है, राइट? अर्लियर वो 2 साल 1.5 साल तो रुकता था, right? He would be there. So a lot of firms, however, but see, I'm very glad that Ishwin, you're thinking in that manner, okay, a 3-year articleship. But then a lot of students who thought कि नहीं हमको 2 years articleship करना है. So it is always, मैं बोल रहा हूँ ना, वो जो मिलता है versus, right? जब 3 साल था तब हमको लगता था अरे यार कम होना चाहिए. जब 2 साल था हमको लगता है ज्यादा. In fact, just to share with you, now that you've asked, I come from a batch where we had 3.5 years of articleship. There was this time in institute ka time, their articleship was 3.5 years. Also, just. So currently, whether you're doing a 2-year articleship or 3-year of articleship was there, CA final could be given at the same time anyways, no? So in 3-year articleship, CA final was allowed to be given after 2.5 years. Correct? In current situation, kya hai? 2 years of articleship, minimum 6 months ka gap, and then give your CA final. So typically CA final आप 2.5 साल के बाद ही दे रहे हो. Just for you to share, we had to do CA final only after completion of 3.5 years. So unless and until we finish 3.5 years of articleship, we are not allowed to give CA final. So then मैं तो देखता हूँ अरे यार ये तो इतने लकी हो गए कि 2.5 साल में एग्जाम देने मिल रहा है. However, that's why I said to each. But I'm sure at the institute level there would have been a big this thing, right? But as I said, so currently since it's a 2-year of articleship, we do not have a 3-year of articleship of an option, right? So what is the best thing that I could learn in 2 years? That is what is something that is important. And I come from a background, I'm a person that I'm, let's learn everything and then decide, right? Why? Because अगर मैं typically एक चीज कर रहा हूँ, तो मुझे बाकी चीज भी आ रही है, तो 5 साल बोर हो गया तो मैं पता कर सकता हूँ. That is the best thing about CA course. Imagine आपको ऑडिट, टैक्स, फाइनेंस मैनेजमेंट, कॉस्टिंग, इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी सब कुछ आ रहा है. तो कभी कुछ करने से बोर भी हो गए ना, तो मेरे पास दूसरा ऑप्शन भी है भाई. दैट इज द ब्यूटी अबाउट सीए कोर्स, राइट? So I think that is what is there. So अभी 2 years है. So a lot of, that's why I said a lot of people, depending घर में माहौल कैसा है, things are what they are doing. They are very sure, अच्छा let's say, कि भाई हमको consulting में जाने का है. So if they get an industrial training of maybe something, in MNCs, in banks, वगैरह, it's absolutely nice, right? So that is how it is going to be, right? Sure. Any more questions related to this before we jump to what forms and everything very quickly? Lovely. Okay. Keep on asking doubts as well. So now, very quick things in terms of forms. Let us understand what is needed for articleship, because I think a lot of students get confused in terms of articleship registration. बहुत ज़्यादा simple process है because everything is online. Now offline कुछ नहीं है. मेरी सबके लिए request है कि everything is given on ICI website. So if you go to ICI website, I'm quickly going to present my entire screen. I hope the screen is visible. Lovely, right? Okay. So if you go to ICI website, and that is how the ICI, let me just go through the ICI website directly. Okay. So if you ever go to ICI website, everything is visible. Always, if you're still a student, go to the students tab. There is home, overview, committees, members, and students, right? This entire student tab में सब कुछ है. मैं यहाँ पे click कर रहा हूँ third वाला chartered accountancy course. And then there is new scheme of education and training, right? इसमें जाएंगे. There is something known as prospectus. First, second, third, and fourth. Can you all see this? Right? हम कोई भी कोर्स उठाए, कहीं कुछ और चीजें, there is something as prospectus, right? Prospectus में सब कुछ दिया हुआ है. Every of your doubt which you ever get is given, right? So of course there are a lot of things, of course, there. Or of course, if you go to BOS knowledge portal, and I'm clicking here to get to the BOS knowledge portal. Right? There are some success stories. Lovely. Okay. Give me 1 second. अरे बहुत सारे So the entire BOS knowledge portal has a lot of things in terms of journal, chakra accountancy course, everything. All I've quickly shown you this is this entire, anytime you get these doubts and everything, all of this is given on prospectus. Now, the basics of everything, the moment I want to get, I'm done with inter group 1 and group 2, orientation course 15 दिन का हो गया, ITT हो गया है, I need to start my articleship. All that I do is, करते क्या है हम of course friends से refer करते हैं, you know, there are vacancies put up on in of each of our branches, notice board, references, everything. We apply, get an articleship. The moment we are done that, we need to intimate to the institute कि हम यहाँ पे articleship कर रहे हैं. Please understand, an articleship is between a contract between an article and the boss or the CA firm. Correct है? CA firm में भी किसी के अंडर, कोई CA के अंडर में articleship कर रहा हूँ, right? So CA XYZ under, you know, he's working in your, it is his firm XYZ and company. So there are main two forms that you need to intimate institute on आपका student portal पे ये सब कुछ आ जाता है. So all of us have got a student portal on, you know, an institute, you get everything. So we file two forms, that is 102 and 103. Now what are these two forms? Very simple to understand. Form 102 is an articleship deed. Foundation में हमने law पढ़ा था. Correct है? We've studied contract. Correct है? The first chapter, what is a contract? What is an agreement? Right? कि contract कब हो जाता है? That is where it gets from. So a lot of people, most important is 102 is not stamped. So we call it either franking of 100 rupees or you get a stamp paper of 100 rupees. Right? इससे क्या हो जाता है? It is a registered deed. Do you remember a difference between an agreement and a contract? Right? Going back to your foundation, everything is very sorted. You may not have thought in this manner, but try to tell you everyone. Right? So you get 100 rupees का, you know, stamp paper और या तो franking. Franking मतलब क्या है? 102 एक deed बनाया हुआ है, format बनाया हुआ है, उसमें बिना कुछ लिखे go to the bank and get, you know, 100 रुपए का उस पे stamp. So that is what we call as franking. Correct है? So 102 is nothing but a contract जिसमें एक format का बनाया हुआ है, उसमें हमारा boss का नाम लिखेंगे 2 years of articleship, खुद का नाम लिखेंगे, we both of them sign कि भाई आज से 2 साल के लिए हम तुम्हारे हवाले. Correct है? What is 103 form? Form number 103 is typically you're providing all your information to the institute. So your form 102 and 103 needs to be accordingly signed and it gets submitted in the portal now because everything is online. Earlier, these were all hard copies जो prospectus के institute हमको देती थी और हम physically, I am sure Shailesh sir, we all of them have, you know, filled those physical forms with the institute, right? So that's your 102 and 103. Now you don't have to do anything with the institute. Your articleship is started and then done. What do you now do? What other forms are there? When you complete your 2 years of articleship, जब 2 साल की articleship खत्म हो गई है, तब जाकर के आप इंस्टीट्यूट को वापस बताने जा रहे हो कि भाई हमने इंस्टीट्यूट आर्टिकलशिप भाई ये सो एंड सो के फॉर्म के साथ कर लिए. सो विच फॉर्म डू यू फिल? एनीवन एंड में 10 लिखो चैट में. 2 साल की आर्टिकलशिप खत्म हो गई तो कौन सा फॉर्म भरेंगे? आई कैन सी लॉट ऑफ
109
109 या 108 108. Yes, correct. So form number 108 is a form once again that you are telling the institute कि मेरी 2 साल की आर्टिकलशिप हो गई है, ये लो मैंने 2 साल में ये काम किया. उसमें वो टैब्स बने हुए हैं अगेन फॉर्म में. Right? So 108 is your completion of articleship का फॉर्म. जब 2 साल का हो जाता है is the form that you know you fill it with the institute. Once again it has to be signed by yours because the boss has to say कि 2 साल इसने सही काम कर लिया है. Right? So it has to be once again. So every form that you submit with the institute, it has to be with signature. Now, please understand all the forms that we are submitting to the institute, everything is between the boss and you. So if Shailesh Bhai is my boss and I am an article, so every form mein I have to sign and Shailesh sir has to sign. Right? Institute को सिर्फ एक हम बता रहे हैं. Why? Because institute is a distance learning course, CA course. Institute को बता रहे कि भाई ये मैं ये कर रहा हूँ, मैं ये कर रहा हूँ, मैं ये कर रहा हूँ, मैं ये कर रहा हूँ. कुछ इश्यू आ गया तब हम इंस्टीट्यूट विल एक्ट लाइक अ कोर्ट, करेक्ट? सो वी आर जस्ट इन्फॉर्मिंग. So 108 is a form completion of articles now. So accordingly, the way we have currently 2 years of articles, में institute ने बोला you are allowed 12 days of leave in a year. So typically 24 days of leave. Correct? Now, if in case if you have taken 30 days of leave, 24 were allowed and आपने 30 दिन की leave ली. Now the 6 days of leave will all depend on your rapport and आपकी firm में what is a policy. You might have worked overtime, or you might have worked on some holidays. Is there some calculation? So each firm has their own way of working for those leaves, right? So in case, however, आपका फिर भी 6 days extra है, so there is going to be an official extension. We call it extension, मतलब 6 or days you have to work apart from the 2 years. Correct है? जिसके लिए एक फॉर्म होता है, फॉर्म नंबर 107, right? So once again, 107 is a form that you are intimating to the institute. आपने 108 फाइल फॉर्म कर दिया. अब आप बता रहे हो इंस्टीट्यूट को कि भाई मेरे पास और 6 दिन का एक्सटेंशन है, आई हैव टू वर्क फॉर मोर 6 days. So after 2 years of articleship, so once again, okay, I'll repeat. So typically each firm, and this is all given in institutes, once again वो जो prospectus मैंने बताया था, as well as there is the entire CA का act, उसमें सब कुछ दिया हुआ है, correct है? So institute कहती है once again, contract of articles is between whom? जो 100 रुपए का स्टैम्प पेपर पे हमने साइन किया था, it is between CA Shailesh sir and Hrudyesh Pankhania article, correct है? Institute has nothing. Contract is between both of us. So both the parties are liable to do everything. जो decide करना है decide कर लो. Now everybody's office have different rules and that is what gets abided by. So each firm may have different rules of working. So in case if I do not have any set off anything and if I get an extension of let's say 6 days, right? So typically I'll have to file form 107. Now form 107 is going to be typically once again informing the institute कि भाई मेरे को 6 दिन और काम करने का है. So I have worked for 2 years, लेकिन तभी एक्स्ट्रा छुट्टी लिया था and 6 more days 107. करेक्ट है? तो now most important is your, मैंने पहले 108 फाइल कर दिया था, करेक्ट है, 2 साल के लिए. फिर वापस मैंने 107 फाइल किया 6 दिन के लिए. Please note I'll have to again file 108. A lot of students don't do this. उनको लगता है 107 हो गया, खत्म हो गया जीवन में कहानी. वो नाउ बिकॉज थिंग्स आर ऑनलाइन, वो पोर्टल में दिखता है, यू नो 108 पेंडिंग पेंडिंग पेंडिंग, बट पोर्टल में जाके कौन देख रहा है? हमको लग रहा है हम बन गए सीए. नाउ इशू हैपेंस इज जब बंदा मेंबरशिप का फॉर्म भरता है मेंबरशिप लेने, दैट टाइम ही रियलाइज अरे ये तो भरा ही नहीं, एंड फिर तब जाके लग जाती है पेनल्टी. करेक्ट है? So just for your information, anytime 108 is your closing form after your extension, correct? That is what typically is. So just in between there are some other forms. So example, let's say if I want to do industrial training, correct है? So मैंने let's say an example 1 साल articleship कर ली है and now I want to do industrial training. So there is a form number 104, correct है? Is what I fill in for getting registration and industrial training. करेक्ट है? लेकिन बिफोर इंडस्ट्रियल ट्रेनिंग रजिस्ट्रेशन मैंने 1 साल का आर्टिकलशिप किया हुआ है, करेक्ट है? उसके लिए फॉर्म कौन सा भरना पड़ेगा मुझे? फॉर्म 109, राइट? सो व्हाट इज फॉर्म 109? टिपिकली फॉर्म 109 इज अ फॉर्म कि 2 साल का, मैंने याद है स्टार्टिंग में आर्टिकलशिप में हमने 102 फॉर्म भरा था, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बिटवीन मी एंड सीए शैलेश सर बोला था कि 2 साल मैं आपके हवाले हूं. तो बीच में कभी भी मैं ब्रेक करके जा रहा हूं, कुछ भी कारणवश, आई हैव टू फाइल फॉर्म 109. Right? So form 109, because I'm breaking, reason could be anything. Because I'm taking a transfer somewhere else, industrial training में जा रहे तो form 109 form करने का. So मैंने 1 साल का form 109 कर लिया. 104 is a form for industrial training, told to the institute कि मैं यहाँ पे industrial training कर रहा हूँ. Now most important during industrial training. Now I'm telling this all these important because I think daily I get 5 minimum doubts of all these things. Students don't check whether this particular company is empaneled with institute or not. बच्चे इंडस्ट्रियल ट्रेनिंग ज्वाइन कर लेते, वहां 1 महीना काम करते, then come and file 104 इंस्टीट्यूट. वो 104 फॉर्म तो फाइल कर लेते, फिर उसके 1 महीने बाद इंस्टीट्यूट रिजेक्ट करती है कि वी कैन नॉट रजिस्टर यू एज इंडस्ट्रियल ट्रेनी विद दिस पर्टिकुलर कंपनी बिकॉज दिस कंपनी इज नॉट एम्पैनल्ड. तो आपने 1 महीने पहले ज्वाइन किया, फिर 1 महीना इंस्टीट्यूट ने लगाए, 2 महीना यू हैव नॉट बीन रजिस्टर्ड एज ए इंडस्ट्रियल ट्रेनी, आप काम कर रहे हो, नाउ अब आप एम्पैनल कराने जा रहे हो उस कंपनी को, सो कंपनी का प्रोसेस भी ऑफ कोर्स 10 दिन 15 दिन 20 दिन लग जाएगा. Please note, if the company is yet not, now if it is getting empaneled, you cannot go and do back, registration, because company registered nahi thi na. So please check, people who are going in industrial training, please check whether company is empaneled. Any company, corporate company who wants to, take industrial trainees, uske liye do hi requirement hai. Number one, wo empaneled honi chahiye institute mein, uska bhi, things are given. Second, उनके पास कोई चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट एम्प्लॉय होने चाहिए. मीनिंग, मैंने जैसे आर्टिकलशिप कर रहा हूं मैं सीए शैलेश सर के पास उनके फॉर्म में, आई एम रजिस्टर्ड नॉट विद सीए शैलेश सर का फॉर्म बट सीए शैलेश सर. मीनिंग, अगर सीए शैलेश सर इज अ पार्टनर इन दिस फॉर्म और अगर वो इस फॉर्म को छोड़ के कहीं और पे जाके पार्टनर बन रहे हैं, ही कैन टेक मी अलोंग विथ मी. आई एम रजिस्टर्ड नॉट विथ फॉर्म बट हिम. Similarly, when I'm doing an industrial training also, I have to get registered with a CA employee working in that company. So Form 104 becomes a contract between me and a CA working in that company and saying that this person is working in this company. I hope it is pretty clear, right? So that is where. So two requirements, company should be empaneled and वहाँ पे कोई CA काम करता हुआ होना चाहिए. ऑल्सो जो काम कर रहा है, वेदर इज एलिजिबल. अगर वो 6 महीने से शायद काम कर रहा है तो वो इज नॉट एलिजिबल. अगेन, एलिजिबिलिटी टू गेट इंडस्ट्रियल ट्रेनिंग इज गिवन, राइट? सो इंपॉर्टेंट बिकम्स इज वेदर इज एलिजिबल. सो प्लीज मेक श्योर, आइदर वहां पे ऑलरेडी इंडस्ट्रियल ट्रेनिंग्स कर रहे लोग, बच्चे तो दिक्कत ही नहीं है, दे आर ऑलरेडी एम्पैनल्ड. और व्हाट बिकम्स इंपॉर्टेंट इज टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस. सो फॉर्म 104, वंस अगेन 104 अगर खत्म हो गया, एंड में कंप्लीशन फॉर्म कौन सा भरेंगे? 105. ये सारे फॉर्म्स आपके एसएसपी पोर्टल पे, स्टूडेंट पोर्टल पे वो पॉपुलेट ऑटोमेटिकली हो जाते हैं, राइट? सो दैट इज समथिंग व्हिच इज मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट. These are the forms I think I thought I should definitely tell you. If you've got any specific questions, please. I've tried talking things according to the, I think there was this, a lot of students had filled up forms, everything. So उसमें काफी कुछ questions आए थे. So I had made sure to speak accordingly. Just one point, a lot of people have asked about in terms of dummy articleship, everything. Let us understand what is dummy articleship. डमी आर्टिकलशिप का मीनिंग है कि मैं इंस्टीट्यूट को बता रहा हूं मैं इस फर्म के साथ काम कर रहा हूं या मैं इस कंपनी के साथ काम कर रहा हूं, बट एक्चुअल में काम नहीं कर रहा हूं, राइट? नाउ व्हाट वुड हैपन विद दिस? व्हेन यू गो आउट आफ्टरवर्ड्स, आफ्टर बिकमिंग सीए, व्हेन यू गो फॉर अ जॉब, सामने वाले को आप 2 क्वेश्चन के आंसर्स पूछोगे आप, लेकिन कुछ तो लिखोगे ना सीवी में. सीवी में तो नहीं लिख सकते डमी किया, राइट? आई एम श्योर. तो आप लिखोगे मैंने ये काम किया, मैंने वो काम किया. प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड, जो इंटरव्यू ले रहा है ना, इंटरव्यू, आप वो 2 क्वेश्चन पूछेगा, उसको समझ में आ जाएगा कि तूने कुछ काम नहीं किया. क्यों? शायद तुम पहली बार इंटरव्यू दे रहे हो या दूसरी बार. जो इंटरव्यूअर है, ही इज नॉट टेकिंग इंटरव्यू फॉर द फर्स्ट और सेकंड टाइम, राइट? सो ऑफ कोर्स आई वुड नेवर सजेस्ट टू गो एंड डू अ डमी आर्टिकलशिप. You can work maybe in a small firm at that point in time if you think you are doing other things and it is not possible for you to work for, let's say, 10 hours a day, right? So that is, so I would not suggest a dummy articleship, right? And you should not do. Yes, Kaushik, go ahead.
Yes, sir. I have doubt that is a student advisable to go for the industrial training or not?
Okay. I would say, once again, that's what I said. If I want to get into practice, then I would not suggest to get into industrial training. अगर आपका श्योर है कि भाई मैं जॉब कर रहा हूँ, जॉब करने वाला हूँ, और लेट्स से मुझे वैल्यूएशंस में जाना है, मुझे वैल्यूएशंस में इंडस्ट्रियल ट्रेनिंग मिल रही, then yes, right? Then definitely yes. So हमारे टाइम, जैसे मुझे इंडस्ट्रियल ट्रेनिंग करनी थी, बट हमारे टाइम पे क्योंकि इंडस्ट्रियल ट्रेनिंग वो सब लीव एवरीथिंग वाज नॉट गेटिंग सॉर्टेड. अभी तो ऐसा नहीं है, 2 years of articleship के बाद 6 months का ब्रेक एंड एवरीथिंग, things are there. So that should not be a problem. So I would have gone, but I couldn't because that everything was not getting sorted, so I could not go. However, if somebody plans to practice or somebody, then I would not suggest. Also, please understand, industrial training matlab it's going to be comparatively long working hours. You're working as an employee of the company, as good as an employee of the company. So then you have to be ready for that. Also, please note, इंडस्ट्रियल ट्रेनिंग में ट्रांसफर्स आर नॉट अलाउड, राइट? ओके, जस्ट अभी ट्रांसफर्स की बात करिए. नाउ व्हाट इज ट्रांसफर? वंस अगेन, चलो, I hope I don't get banned to speak all this. This is on YouTube live. So, ट्रांसफर मतलब क्या? वंस अगेन, मेरा कॉन्ट्रैक्ट किसके साथ है? कॉन्ट्रैक्ट इज बिटवीन हृदयेश पानखानिया आर्टिकल एंड शैलेश सर, सीए शैलेश सर, करेक्ट है? बाकी किसी को कॉन्ट्रैक्ट मैंने क्या बोला है? मैं 2 साल आपके साथ रहूंगा, करेक्ट है? अगर बीच में मुझे ट्रांसफर लेना है, प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड, दोनों का यस होना चाहिए.
यस,
यस, नो, नो, यस, करेक्ट है?
यस.
अभी यूवी भाई ने डिवोर्स हो गया, करेक्ट है? तो दोनों की सहमति से हुआ, करेक्ट और नॉट? राइट. सो द क्वेश्चन इज, what is a transfer rule? The question becomes is, if you're trying to break a contract, it has to be said by yes by both of them. Only then you are trying to take a transfer from one firm maybe to another firm. However, a problem happens is when student wants to take a transfer and the principal is not ready to give a transfer. Now, what does institute say? Institute says you are allowed transfer and there are some reasons when they are given. Correct? If you're shifting, let's say from Mumbai to Surat or Mumbai to Rajasthan or from Bangalore to Mumbai or etc. anywhere, so they have put down a clause of 50 kilometers, right? Yes. Then of course, yes. Or if your parent is shifting, transferable job hai, something. So similarly, such 5-6 reasons are given. Or maybe on mutual terms, absolutely not a problem. However, in case if there is something, you need to always, when you're trying to get into an articleship, you're trying to ask your firm, are there any transfer policy or what is it, everything. You should always ask. Now, why? Why? Because please understand, as an article, आपको बेसिक काम सीखने में 4-5 महीने लग गए, करेक्ट है? And if after 6 months you are going to say, अच्छा, now I want a transfer. Your firm has taken you over, not somebody else. They made sure to invest time, everything in that 6 months. And now if you say 6 months के बाद मुझे जाना है, ऊपर से stipend भी आपको ज्यादा दिया as compared to the, what institute has said, the minimum. Isn't that ditching somebody? Right? Unless some things at some firms or you find it things are very toxic. And you are like, okay, then you need to talk. The question is, talking always gives a solution. Let us understand that, right? And then in case if that is not, if things are not moving and you would want, then you approach to the institute with form 120. So form 120, if there is any dispute, you file a form 120 with the institute, where institute will now, but institute will not just listen to you, institute will have to listen to both the parties. It's like a court, no? आप तो बोल रहे हो आप सही हो, but सामने वाले को भी तो सुनना पड़ेगा ना? And then accordingly, institute will look at the cases, right? So that is what it is going to be, right? I hope I have, so that's about in terms of transfer. So make sure, in case if there is any transfer, talk, start may, why, what, everything. Please note, you cannot do things only which is, good for you. You have to think from both the sides, right? Just in that. Any more questions? Go ahead. Do we have any questions on the YouTube as well? Okay, I think I'm
yeah. So if I could just request, Joint Secretary Anjali Mitra to lead the question and answer round. She has a
give
few
me
lists
1
prepared.
second. Give me 1 second.
Yes, sir. No problem.
Okay. Sorry. Yes. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. So if Anjali could. Anjali, if you could go ahead with the question answer.
Yes, definitely. Hello everyone, very good evening to you all. I, Anjali Mittal, Joint Secretary at Surat Branch of WICASA. So, sir, today I am here to present the question on behalf of Surat Branch WICASA. So, very first question which I am currently having is that after 2 years of articleship, if I want to get the COP, if I want to get the COP, then do I have to go for post 1 year articleship for becoming practicing CA?
Okay. ये वाला doubt.
So, you are not audible.
Am I
अच्छा, एक सेकंड.
Okay, am I audible?
Okay, okay, yes sir, yes sir.
ये वाला जो अभी आपने क्वेश्चन पूछा ना, ये डाउट कहाँ से आता है?
सर ये बहुत बच्चों का डाउट है.
Exactly my point. ये बहुत बच्चों को कहाँ से आता है?
सर एक्चुअली अभी ये हो गया ना सिस्टम की 2 साल के आर्टिकलशिप के बाद अगर सीओपी लेना है, सो दैट इज
नहीं, सीओपी लेना है, बट ये जो सीओपी के लिए 1 साल वाला करने का है. सो वेरी रिसेंटली, आई जस्ट नाउ दैट यू आस्क्ड अंजलि, सो वेरी रिसेंटली ऑन 1st April 2025 किसी बंदे ने ना लिंक्डइन पे, जो ऑफ कोर्स सीए भी है, मैं उनको उसको जानता भी हूँ, बट यू नो वो कॉमेडी वाली चीजें लिखते रहता है, तो उसने ना वो वाला एक मैसेज पूरा लिखा कि आप सीए बनने के बाद भी अगर आपको अपना सीए डिग्री कंटिन्यू रखने का है तो एवरी 3 years आपको एग्जाम देना पड़ेगा. यू हैव टू गिव एग्जाम ओनली, यू नो, देन इट विल, योर सीए डिग्री विल कंटिन्यू, अदरवाइज योर सीए डिग्री विल गो अवे. नाउ फ्यू पीपल उधर का स्क्रीनशॉट लेके दे एडिटेड नीचे का, यू नो, 1st April फूल वाला वो हैशटैग निकाल दिया एंड स्टार्टेड सर्कुलेटिंग. One CA, of course, who's been my student 2 years back, he sent me, sir, is this for real? Of course, क्योंकि वो किस member ने लिखा हुआ था LinkedIn से, वो उसने, he had kept it. I am like, no. He's like, this is getting circulated. फिर मैंने उसको LinkedIn से वही friend का from that post पूरा भेजा with April Fool and I sent him. मतलब this is what it is. I am saying, so once again, what Anjali you asked is, so this about this 1 year of K after, you know, to COP, this thing, this was way back 2 years back when the course had changed. It was in a draft proposal where somebody had added in terms of their discussion that since now they are doing 2 years of articleship, typically afterwards for practicing 1 year होगा. But उसके बाद जब final आया तभी ऐसा कुछ नहीं आया हुआ है. So whether you want to do practice or you want to get into a job, your 2 year of articleship is your 2 year of articleship. Right? So 2 year of articleship के बाद you apply for CA membership and you can take a COP at that point.
Sir, am I visible to you all?
Anjali, you're audible but not visible.
Just a moment, sir. Can you give me a moment? I'll switch the camera.
No problem. Okay. Go ahead. So guys, do not worry. Anybody who wants to practice, you know, and just to tell you, there is a huge scope today in practice. Why there is a huge scope? Imagine the number of companies which are getting formed. Imagine the number of companies who are trying to do multiple things. Imagine just the number of IPOs which are coming. Imagine the number. मतलब इन सब का काम कौन करेगा? Right? So there is a huge scope. So for a lot of people who keep on saying, अच्छा sir, practice में scope नहीं है क्या होगा? अरे भाई इतना scope है. Why? So once again, whether you look at it as a practice or you look at it as an entrepreneurship, it's one and the same. It's as simple as that. Right? So there is a huge scope in doing some things of your own and doing things. So you have to be, but you should be ready to dedicatedly work, and most important, you should be disciplined. It is as simple. मतलब वो वाला है ना कि अगर मैं खुद से पढ़ाई कर रहा हूँ वर्सेस मैं क्लासेस जा रहा हूँ कि भाई सुबह 7 बजे बोला, तो हमारे टाइम पे जब हम फिजिकली क्लास जाते हैं तो वी यूज्ड टू हैव 7 o'clock फिजिकल क्लास मॉर्निंग. अब 7 o'clock तो मैं तो भाई 4:30 बजे उठ के 5:30 बजे घर से निकल के आई यूज्ड टू रीच बिकॉज़ आई यूज्ड टू स्टे 1.5 hour far. सो अभी 7 o'clock को ऑनलाइन क्लास देखना है तो हम 6:55 को ही उठ रहे हैं, लैपटॉप चालू कर दिया. Correct. In fact, today I was talking to one of my friend who's a teacher, and you know he was like, Hrudyesh, anytime, even online sessions, live online sessions, there is not more than 50% attendance. I was just asking कि attendance लेते हो because earlier we used to take. I said why, and he said student is like मैं अपने time से देख लूंगा ना because you have to give the recorded version. Correct है. So you have to be disciplined. Now even if you're watching recorded anytime, it should not be lagged कि अच्छा ठीक है. Otherwise क्या हो जाता है एग्जाम के टाइम पे वो बहुत अच्छा ये भी पेंडिंग है ये भी पेंडिंग है. So make sure you're disciplined, right? So that is what it is going to be. Go ahead. I think I'll just take one question from YouTube. Somebody had asked, is it true that multiple transfer taken in the first year of articleship can be taken in first year of article? It could be for no particular reason, whereas in second year transfer it's allowed only for specific reasons. Okay. So institute has said that in first year of articleship you are allowed transfer. Of course, you can take multiple. In second year, you have to give specific reasons, of course. However, in second year also you could take, you know, in other provided anything which is mutually allowed between you, the student, and your firm principal. It's absolutely not a problem. it should be allowed typically, right? You should, matlab, don't bid goodbyes on a sour note is my something, right? So just for your, so make sure, and there has to be a reason. You can't be like, acha, matlab, just to very quickly share, a lot of people, 3 months of, they'll do basics of everything, and they're like, इसमें मजा नहीं आ रहा है. हम मजा करने थोड़ी गए हैं. You've not there gone to have fun, right? You've gone there, fun करने का है तो party कर लेंगे ना, right? You've gone there to work, to learn, to understand. And for a lot of people who come and say, sir, आज कुछ नया सीखने नहीं मिल रहा है. You cannot have 365 days of everyday new learning suddenly. You will have new learning provided you dig deep. Correct? So make sure you have that. You have to, make sure you have an articleship diary. Whether your firm requires or not, you maintain an articleship diary of every day what you've done, either in a book form or in a, Excel form, or there are AI tools today available and everything. Right? Go ahead. Yes.
So the second question which I'm having, sir, is that what skill and knowledge required in articleship so that after successfully completion of chartered accountant, be able to get opportunity in competitive market as a job or as a practice both?
So I think that's what I said. Skills in terms of, see, technical skills are always going to be there, right? Audit kar liya, tax kar liya. Most important skills is going to be that interviewer is afterwards going to see, or even if you start your own things, is your discipline and dedication, according to me. Most important. And the third is going to be your sales pitch. आप job में जा रहे हो, interview में, if you're not able to, speak in that manner, or if you're getting into practice, if you're not able to get clients, तो आप क्या कर रहे हो? So that becomes most essential. Yeah.
Perfect, sir. Perfect. These were the two questions which I'm having from my side. I would like to hand over to our to Riya Shaira.
Yes. Also, Hrudyesh, we have actually made a sequence where all the CASAs, they've gathered their questions from their branches. So we have a sequence, if we can follow that. So I think after this it was CSN. So Samiksha, if you could take up.
Yeah, sure. Good evening, sir. I'm Samiksha Kasliwal, Secretary of WICASA Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar branch. I was having a question like, does BCom really matters for those who are truly dedicated for CA? And if you want to leave BCom, then would there be any problem?
Okay. Number one, see, typically, really, it will not really matter, right? Because आपने professional degree करा हुआ है. But a lot of things के लिए फिर वो ये हो जाता है, आप graduate हो या नहीं हो. So unless आप direct university से graduation कर रहे हो, right? Institute had a tie-up with the IGNO University. You're doing from there. So it's absolutely fine in that manner. So you're doing a graduation with IGNO. I have a lot of students who have, because Institute had, again, a tie-up with IGNO University, and they used to do it with that. So that's absolutely fine to do a graduation. Why? Because afterwards, when you have to study further something other, graduation becomes important. So then otherwise, BCom marks and everything will not matter when you're doing a professional course, typically, right? However, a lot of students still try to get best marks in BCom or graduation or post-graduation. Like when I did my CA, of course, it was very sure that I wanted to do CA. फिर भी BCom और MCom में ऐसा था कि भाई top marks लेकर आने का है. क्यों? बस बताने के लिए बाद में अभी भी कि भाई BCom में इतना marks आया था. See, that could be there. Otherwise, in terms of, or you have optional subjects in BCom, right? That you are trying to learn. So I studied BCom mein, I studied optional subjects like journalism. I studied psychology. So I've picked up such additional subjects also, which I had in my college optional subjects. So I was very happy that I did BCom, right? So otherwise, it's absolutely fine.
Thank you, sir. I have another question. Like, what type of tasks an articleship trainee has to perform in the initial months of articleship training?
Okay. So typically tasks will all depend on which firm he is in, whether he's into Big 4, Big 6, Big 10, mid-size firms, small-size firms. So once again, वो कब join हो रहा है उस पे depend करेगा. Let's say an example, May वाला pass out, or rather Jan वाला pass out अभी, he joins at April, May. So during June, July, he'll start doing income tax returns. If he has joined just in March, April, he will typically start with vouching, all of those, right? So it depends on when he has, or maybe GST calculations, GST returns related working. So typically my own thing is, let things flow. Let don't go with a preconceived notions कि चीजें ये होती है. Start flowing yourself is something that I would always suggest to any student, who's watching your live also. So becomes most. So initially it is going to be very basic. That's why I said कि depending आपको पहले से क्या आता है, right? So becomes most essential. So a lot of earlier students used to go and do bank reconciliations, all of those, because that was something very basic. Today the AI does it, right? Today software does it. Earlier it was not the case. I'm talking about like 15 years back maybe. Right. So right at basics of vouching, understanding what is a voucher, understanding what is a tally, how things looks like, will all be seen in a small mid-sized firms, I think.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I will hand over this to Ria.
I think Ria has not been able to. If anybody has any other, yeah, Ria.
Just a moment. She'll join in a moment.
No problem. I think there are a few people who have raised hands, so that's why I said
she joined.
we can go ahead.
Ria, are you there?
Yes, I'm so sorry. There's some network connectivity. Okay. Yeah. Although I've forwarded the sequence, so I think we can all ask the questions accordingly. I mean, next we have, I think, Dhanbad.
Thank you, Ria. Good evening, sir. Myself, Mayank Kumar Bansal, Vice Chairman of WICASA Dhanbad. I have two doubts. First one is, how can I get into Big Four for my articleship training?
Okay. Very simple. How can you get into a Big Four of articleship? Number one, catch hold of people, friends, right from LinkedIn or CASAs, everything, who are working already in a Big Four. Right? जो 6 months या 1 year से है, forward them the CV. That's going to be the best way. Second, a lot of Big Fours today have started looking for articles. Why? Because the number of articles available are comparatively lesser as compared to some years back. If you look at the foundation results, if you look at the inter results, if you look at earlier inter एक group करने के बाद articleship start कर सकते थे, अब दोनों group के बाद ही start कर सकते हैं. So the number of students have reduced. So a lot of Big Fours are in open के भाई आओ. So of course you can apply directly, walk to their offices. The best ways are going to be or approach people on LinkedIn. Or if you have somebody in your, the circles of CASAs or friends, जो एक साल वाले seniors है, who have started doing articleship over there or who's working, the best person is to forward to them CV and catch hold of them. I think that's the best way. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Sir, my second question is, I am currently pursuing articleship in a taxation domain, and I am planning to transfer to audit domain in my second year. I want to explore and learn that domain, but after discussing with few people, I am doubting my plan. So I request you to provide guidance on that.
No, so see, that's what I'm saying. So if you worked in tax and you would want to, explore audits, everything also, I would definitely say why not? Unless you're very sure कि भाई जिंदगी में मेरे को tax में ही काम करना है. If that's not 100% sure, if there is a pinch of doubt also, then absolutely all right. If you want to explore, go ahead, work in audit. या आपके current firm में अगर audits मिल रहा है, that is possible, then go ahead and do that, definitely. Or you can think of an industrial training also. Why not? Definitely. You should do.
Thank you very much. Now I hand over mic to Ria.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I think next we can have doubts from the Bhopal branch. Is there anyone from the Bhopal branch? If not, then we can move to Ghaziabad.
क्या बात है? Branches all over India have joined.
Yes, sir. All regions.
All regions. Excellent.
Yeah. Do we have someone from Raipur?
Yes.
Yes.
Good evening, sir.
क्या बात है? हरजोत भाई, go ahead.
सर एक क्वेश्चन आया है कि सर आई डू नॉट वांट टू परस्यू ट्रेडिशनल प्रैक्टिस एज आई एम इंटरेस्टेड इन मर्जर एंड एक्विजिशन सीएफए एंड फाइनेंस फील्ड सो काइंडली सजेस्ट मी अ फील्ड आउट ऑफ अबव इन व्हिच आई कैन परस्यू माय आर्टिकलशिप इन सर ये आया है क्वेश्चन और एक मेरा पर्सनल क्वेश्चन है सर नो डाउट आईसीआई इज डूइंग ग्रेट बट सर व्हेन वी फिल द फॉर्म ऑफ टर्मिनेशन in the SSP portal And by filling the form, we submit various document, and that document is always or somewhat correct. But there is some scope that BOS or whoever checked that document, they find some of the silly mistake. Out of that, the form मतलब form रुक जाता है फिर. We
Silly
have
mistake
to.
माने कैसा वाला?
सर जैसे कोई
Example?
डॉक्यूमेंट में CRO समझ जाओ कुछ इधर उधर हो गया, या पार्टनर की साइन जैसे SSP पोर्टल में ओरिजिनली मेंबर्स पोर्टल में थी वैसे नहीं, तो सर इस कारण के लिए कुछ फिर we have to send multiple mails.
Correct. Okay, I'll get to you both your doubts. So first वाला जो आपने कहा कि भाई आर्टिकल बाद में CA के बाद let's say we want to get into non-traditional fields, right? So there are n number of people, like assuming I myself started my career with Deutsche Bank. So I started with financial analysis related things, right? So there are a lot of people who would want to still, maybe join into equity research, maybe valuation, maybe investment banking, consultancy, correct? Now so typically articleship में कोर M&A नहीं मिलता है, कोर equity research नहीं मिलता है, वो चीजें नहीं मिलती है. However, these days you may be able to get. So if you are the lucky one, if you are able to get something of that sort, वो भी how? So if somebody has a CA firm and he also has these other things, as works and everything, and if he's taken article to work in both the sectors, it's absolutely. So if you're able to get, lovely. If you're not able to get, you work in audits, but you work in, imagine working on audits of financial companies, right? So what happens is, I am understanding those things in a better manner. अगर नहीं मिल पा रहा है तो. So that is how you get into. So people are today working during articleship or doing an industrial training also. I know somebody who's working, who's doing industrial training in management consultancy, who's doing industrial training in IPO related things, correct? Doing marketing things also, doing financially analysis also. So it's absolutely nice to do up those things, right? Second, as you rightly said, there might be some things at BOS. Please understand. So I'm sure now signing wala cannot be counted as silly mistake. राइट सो जैसे आपने कहा कि पार्टनर की सिग्नेचर पोर्टल में अलग है, और इमेजिन कोई बच्चे ने ऐसे ही कर ली होगी खुद से, तो राइट सिग्नेचर इज अ बिग थिंग ना. सो पोर्टल में इट इज वेरी एसेंशियल. सो जस्ट आवर इलेक्शन फॉर्म्स, व्हेन वी फील इंस्टीट्यूट इलेक्शन फॉर्म्स आल्सो सिग्नेचर्स हैव टू मैच. सो फॉर एनीथिंग द BOS पोर्टल में जो सिग्नेचर सबमिटेड है, दोस आर द बेस सिग्नेचर्स, राइट? बैंक में जो हमने सिग्नेचर सबमिट करी है एज अ चेक, दूसरी कोई सिग्नेचर नहीं चलाएंगे. सो quite possible there could be, अभी जैसे आपने CRO वाला नंबर कुछ एग्जांपल, because then they're not sure whether things are going to be correct or not. See, things would be correct हमारी नजर से. ये तो हम भी जब हम आर्टिकल फर्स्ट ईयर ऑफ आर्टिकलशिप में जाते थे और वो वाउचर में कुछ बेसिक छोटू सा डाउट होता था, यू रिमेंबर, अगर हम आर्टिकलशिप हम बोलते थे अरे यार, और वो जो मैनेजर होता था वो बोलता अरे यार बच्चों ये सब इतना तो चलता है, लाइक नहीं, और हमारे लिए तो वो क्वेरी बहुत बड़ी क्वेरी होती थी. यस, राइट. सो for them also, because exactly चीजें करना, no doubt. But however, as you rightly said, अगर कोई student कुछ नहीं हो रहा है because of any glitch, we're more than happy to, I am there, Shailesh sir is here, I'm sure there are others, I'm more than happy to help. You send us, we'll send it कि भाई ये क्यों बचा हुआ है. I think on a daily basis, I end up talking to 5-10 such messages, emails, third, and send up. And not just me, I'm sure all the other MCMs, RCMs, ECMs as well. So more than happy to send कि अगर कुछ अटका हुआ है, we can always check up with why, right? So that's always a possibility. No problem. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, dear. Yeah. Next.
I think Guwahati branch can ask the questions.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Am I audible? So my first question is, how to stay updated with the work which is not available in our firm? For example, central bank audits, listed company audits approach, etc.
Lovely. Okay. You remember that movie clip which I showed? So generally, मैं वही कह रहा हूँ. So what is going to happen is, देखो भाई, a lot of people like Katrina Kaif. But Katrina Kaif like whom? Right. So, Vicky Kaushal, thank you so much. So the question is, we would want to do up things, but आर्टिकलशिप में ऐसा नहीं है कि 6 महीना आर्टिकलशिप यहाँ कर लो, फिर 6 महीना आर्टिकलशिप वहां कर लो, राइट? सो जैसे लॉयर्स में दे डू 3 months के इंटर्नशिप्स. सो वो जाके 3 महीना अलग कंपनी में काम कर लेते हैं, फिर बाद में अलग टाइम पे 3 महीना अलग कंपनी में काम करते हैं. कोइंसिडेंटली ऐसा नहीं है. because you would want to learn at a particular way in a things, right? So the question is, lot of times कि भाई हमको है कि ये वाला सीखना है लेकिन ये अभी नहीं है. The best way is there is something known as, again with the firm's approval as well, there is something known as secondment. So there is something known as official secondment, जो मैंने शायद मेरे फॉर्म्स के टाइम पे नहीं कहा. So officially secondment होता है मिनिमम 4 महीने का, मैक्सिमम 12 months का. So official secondment मतलब मैं मेरे फर्म में रजिस्टर्ड हूँ, यहाँ पे काम कर रहा हूँ, लेकिन मेरा बॉस भी चाहता है, तो लेट्स से जैसे आपने कहा सेंट्रल ऑडिट, ठीक है, मेरे यहाँ कंकरेंट बैंक ऑडिट है और सेंट्रल ऑडिट नहीं है, ठीक है, और मेरे बॉस भी चाहते कि और उनके कोई नोन फर्म में है, तो मैं ऑफिशियली इंस्टीट्यूट को फॉर्म 106 बता रहा हूं कि मैं अभी मिनिमम 4 महीना या 5 महीना या 12 मंथ्स तक किसी और फर्म में काम करने वाला हूं. आई एम रजिस्टर्ड विद दिस एग्जिस्टिंग फर्म ओनली, बट आई एम गोइंग एंड वर्किंग फॉर 6 months with the next. That is an official secondment. Firms can always do that, right? So then you have to talk to your firm, unless you're applying for a transfer and everything. But typically, as I said, we cannot learn everything. Now, if that's not possible also, the best way to learn is by listening and having a discussion with that next person who is actually doing a thing. तो आपका अगर आर्टिकल फ्रेंड है, एंड आई थिंक वी एनकरेज दिस, एंड आई एम श्योर दिस जस्ट स्ट्रक मी एट शैलेश सर एट विकासा लेवल्स, इफ वी कुड डू. सो व्हाइल वी डू अ लॉट ऑफ सेमिनार्स, let's say we do seminars on bank audits, we do seminars on taxation. If we could do the way we have members के लिए study circle, study groups, if we could do articles के लिए study discussion, that is what we do at article levels, we do in our firms. But at CASA level or branches level or region level, if we are able to do in terms of actually discussing that this is what, because जब एक article explain कर रहा है आके ना, तो वो चीजें अलग हो जाती है as compared to when a CA is going to come कि भाई तो वो सेमिनार के जैसे होता है, अच्छा बैंक ऑडिट में ये करने का. So an experience should flow in. So we could have a discussion groups, like a core group discussion kind of thing. We used to develop in firms. So, when I had a lot of my articles, and every article used to go to a different bank for audit, because different banks will have different softwares. So typically on alternate Saturdays, we used to call all of them in office because banks used to be holiday and we were working on Saturdays. So alternate Saturday bank band tha, so we used to get into office and everybody used to discuss कि उनके बैंक में क्या हो रहा है. So that दूसरे वाले को समझ में आए कि अच्छा इनका सॉफ्टवेयर कैसा है, उधर क्या टाइप के लोन्स आ रहे हैं and everything. So that is what Jaitra you could Parik Jaitra, right? Yeah, you could do in terms of उस फ्रेंड से actually समझ के नोट्स बनाओ. मतलब मेरा है कि आप नोट्स प्रॉपरली बनाओगे तो अपने को अच्छे से समझेगा, राइट? सो यू कुड लीड टू अ कोर डिस्कशन. अगर वो नहीं करने मिल रहा और फिर भी मुझे सीखना है, दैट्स द बेस्ट वे टू डू इट, राइट? या.
So sir, I have one more question. Like, what are the procedures to be followed at the time of end of articleship from students' perspective?
Sorry. Go ahead. What are
the procedures to be followed at the time of end of the articleship from students' perspective?
Okay. So as I told earlier also, the form 108 is the last form that you end up filling from a student's perspective. So 108 form भरते हैं तब उधर record में दिखता है is there an extension or not, right? So SSP में if there is an extension, I end up filing 107 and then 108 again, unless I am doing an off-paper extension. So 108 is the last form that you do. उसके बाद उधर दिख जाता है कि articleship is completed by, and then we apply for membership. So that is the last form that you do it from a student perspective.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Now I have hand over to Riya.
Yes, Riya. Mute here.
Yeah, just a second.
No
There
problem.
are a lot of network connectivity issues.
No problem.
Yeah. I think now we can have Rajkot branch.
Hello. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Audible? Sir, my first question is, in order to be eligible for CA final May 28, what is the deadline for starting my articleship? If I have cleared my CA intermediate in September 25.
Okay. Let's go by rule. इंस्टीट्यूट ने क्या बोला है भैया? 2 साल का आर्टिकलशिप खत्म होके 6 महीने का गैप होने के बाद उसके बाद जो भी नेक्स्ट अटेम्प्ट है उसमें यू आर एलिजिबल, करेक्ट? सो इंटर कभी करा आपने? Okay, let's work backwards only. May 28. What did you say? When is the CA final you want to give?
May 28.
सिंपल है, May 28. So May 28 के पहले 6 महीने गिन लेते हैं पहले तो. So basically 6 महीने, 2.5 years ही गिन लेते हैं. तो May 28 मतलब 4 महीने of the 28 and November and December of 27. करेक्ट है? तो टिपिकली आपकी आर्टिकलशिप 31 अक्टूबर 2027 तक खत्म हो जानी चाहिए. करेक्ट है? सो सिमिलरली आपकी आर्टिकलशिप चालू कब हो जानी चाहिए? 31 of October 2025. Am I calculating correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So 31st October 2025 to 31st October 2027, 2 साल हुआ, and accordingly then 6 महीना. So any time 31st October 2025 तक अगर मैं आर्टिकलशिप शुरू कर रहा हूँ तो मुझे कौन सा वाला अटेम्प्ट था वो? May 28 अटेम्प्ट मिल जाएगा. नाउ इंटर कब दिया?
September 25.
वेरी गुड. नाउ सितंबर 25 का रिजल्ट 31 अक्टूबर 25 तक आएगा क्या नहीं किसी को पता नहीं है. लास्ट ईयर इट केम ऑन 30th of October, right? So which allowed a lot of students to go and back work also. So meaning अगर हम I personally also put on my Twitter, my LinkedIn, Instagram as well कि अगर आपको 5 नवंबर को अगर आपने ICO ओरिएंटेशन कोर्स एंड ITT ट्रेनिंग ऑलरेडी करके रखा हुआ है एंड यू गेट आर्टिकलशिप, आपने पहले से सर्च शुरू कर दिया था बिफोर रिजल्ट्स, राइट? आपने लॉक इन कर दी थी तो आपको जाके फॉर्म ही भरना था. एंड फॉर्म भी भरना था मतलब 31 अक्टूबर को फॉर्म भरना जरूरी नहीं है. Institute allows you 30 days window within which you can fill the form free of cost. करेक्ट है? तो आपको 5 नवंबर 10 नवंबर को भी आर्टिकलशिप मिल गई है एंड इफ यू रिक्वेस्टेड योर बॉस कि भाई सर 30th की डेट डाल सकते हो क्या कि मेरे को मे का अटेम्प्ट मिले, then you put your 30th or 31st of October of articleship date to get that. But if your OC and ITT is not done yet, then you cannot start your articleship by 31st of October. Then you cannot get that May 28 wala attempt. Correct? So first of all, we currently don't know when the results will be out. So उतना टेंशन नहीं लेने का, तब वाला कैलकुलेट करने का जो पॉसिबल होता है. नहीं तो मई में नहीं एग्जाम मिलेगा तो जैन में मिल जाएगा. नहीं मई के बाद सितंबर है, अभी से सितंबर 28 में मिल जाएगा, राइट? या सो टिपिकली फॉर एनी स्टूडेंट्स हु गेट्स कंफ्यूज्ड बिकॉज़ आई गेट सिंपल है, 2 साल गिन लो, 6 महीना गिन लो, फिर उसके बाद का जो भी एलिजिबल हो जाता है वो. गो अहेड नेक्स्ट.
Sir, yes, I have one more question.
बोलो भाई.
How can one avail scholarship during articleship period?
Okay.
Can any CA form in whether principal or any CA employee be marked as principal for filing the scholarship application?
Okay. So you have to apply by of scholarship. Once again, as I said, prospectus पे जाओगे तो prospectus में index में देख लो तो last third या fourth point is of scholarship. So they give you have to apply to the institute. So during your articleship, institute pays I miss the amount that they pay, 1,500 2,000 या क्या है per month. So you can apply to that, and of course it needs a recommendation by your principal, of course, and it would be by some RCM, CCM, or the secretaries at the institute, and then those forms will go for verifying status and everything, and then you could get the scholarship.
Thank you, sir.
Right? Yes, thank you.
Now I hand over to Riya.
Yes, now questions from the Bangalore branch.
Hi, sir.
Hello.
I have cleared already my doubt.
Perfect. Superb, Navya.
So you can.
Sure. Thank you.
Then we can move forward to the Gandhidham branch.
Yes, sir. Good evening,
Yes.
sir.
Good evening, Kaushik.
Sir, I have another question. As you guided that a student want to go for practice after becoming CA can avoid industrial training. So now my question is, if any person, any student, like take an example of myself, I want to go for a practice after becoming CA, or just want to go for my own business, which type of firm can I choose for the articleship? Like which type of firm and domain I can choose?
Okay. I would generally suggest do an articleship from a mid-sized firm जहाँ पे सब कुछ कर रहे हो.
Okay.
So आप एकदम बेसिक से लेकर के बड़ी चीजें भी कर रहे हो. So that's it. Let us understand that जब आप खुद का प्रैक्टिस भी कर रहे हो तो you would want to still, तभी कुछ नया आ जाएगा तो you would want to start that. You may not have done that in articleship, right? But what happens, a beauty about in a mid-size of articleship firm is going to be, you're going to be groomed in that manner, right? So that is going to be something which is beneficial. Okay. And at the end, right? मतलब अगर ये करना चाहिए था, so please understand there is no law on this, right? This is what we say by an experience कि this becomes better. But at the end, let's say आपने Big Four से भी कर लिया आर्टिकलशिप और उसके बाद आप प्रैक्टिस नहीं कर सकते हो क्या? Of course कर सकते हो, ऐसा नहीं है. However, lot of things you may not know and then you'll have to sit and find, right? So अगर आपने Big Four में let's say audit में करे हुए हैं, you may not know the basics of how to file an actual return. तुम बैठ के गूगल करेगा, एआई यूज करेगा, कुछ करेगा एंड फ्रेंड को पूछेगा करेगा, राइट? सो अदरवाइज यू वुड हैव नो. That's the only difference, right?
Yeah, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Kaushik.
Over to you, Riya.
Yes, now we can have questions from the Bhilai branch.
Am I audible?
Yes, Diksha.
Good evening, sir. I'm Diksha from Bhilai branch, WICASA branch. I'm in WICASA Bhilai. I have two questions. First is how many additional courses we can do along with the CA course?
Very good. So officially you are allowed to do only one course along with CA. Good you asked this question. People may pursue multiple courses, officially you are allowed only one. Also, if you are pursuing, so good you asked, so if you are pursuing any other course or if you're doing anything else also, during articleship, Form 112 is required. So very recently at this, in one of our WICASA group, somebody said कि अभी अप्रैल में TY exam तो खत्म हो गई है, result लगा नहीं है, there's no results are yet not out, and I'm starting my articleship. Form 112 is not needed. A lot of them said no, not needed. And I had to jump in between that Form 112 is needed. Why? Form 112 is needed because you've just given an exam. Your BCom is yet not completed with giving an exam. Example, you will say that BCom is of 3 years. Correct? FY first year, second year, third year. So if you have given your last year in 2025, meaning you would have started in June 2022. So the portal will calculate 3 years from June 22 to June 25. Correct? And you started your articleship in April. It will show 2 months ka difference where you are doing some other course along with articleship. Form 112 was required. Right? So, or even if you're not having college, you say कि college नहीं जाना पड़ रहा है. Please understand, Form 112 is a requirement to be filled if you're doing anything, even if you're doing a business. Let's say if you're a director in a company, you have to fill Form 112. So Form 112 is only needed कि articleship के साथ if you're doing anything else, Form 112 is required. Whether it requires your going or not going is a not a matter of concern, right? So you are allowed to do one course officially. Yeah.
Okay. Sir, can you also suggest some courses doing after post CA?
So post CA, once again, a lot of things that you would want to get into. So I would say if you want to get into core finance, core consulting, and if it's possible to do a full-time education, I will tell to do an MBA from top institutes of the country, or if you're going abroad, right? Top 10 institutes से कर रहे हो तो better होने वाला है इंडिया में. Top 10 के नीचे से मैं नहीं suggest करूँगा because then the salary ranges accordingly won't matter. Would be in line. I would अगर मैं कर रहा हूँ तो मैं चाहूँगा कि मेरी salary ranges आगे बढ़े उसके बाद. Correct? If let's say if you don't want to do a full-time education and if you're still getting into financial analysis, everything, go and do a CFA, right? If you're moving abroad, depending on where you're moving, if you're moving to, maybe UK or Europe side, do an ACC over there. If you're moving Canada, do a CPA Canada, or in Australia, CPA Australia. Institute has a lot of MOUs with these, institutions where some papers gets exempted accordingly. So I would do that. If you get into risk management, do an FRM, right? If you're getting into core IT related things, do ISACA se CISA. I've got a friend, ISACA se 4 or 5 courses he has done. He's entirely into systems designing, implementation, not just systems audit. All that we have heard is IT, ISCA, something of CISA, DISA. We've just done of system audits. There's much more of system designing, system implementation, systems understanding, systems analysis, the we do financial analysis. So, ISACA has a lot of otherwise other courses apart from CISA, they've got CRM and much more related. So you could do that as well. And then there are plenty of, if you're, let's say, into something related to law or litigation, all of those. So do your LLB, of course, from India, and then maybe do an LLM from abroad. So, that works. And LLM, 1-year LLM courses are available over there. And in a long-term frame, you can always do a PhD.
Okay. Okay, thank you. I have one more question.
Go ahead.
Like someone has wrote, my CA final attempt is in January 27.
January,
Until
sorry,
now,
when
I
is
haven't. January 2027.
Okay.
Final attempt. Until now, I haven't started studying for the same. I'm thinking of delaying the attempt. So I want to ask if 10 months are enough for clearing both groups along with my articleship, or should I go for dummy articleship and focus on my studies?
Okay. Number 1, Jan 2027, current is April 2025, तो 1.5 साल बचा हुआ है. Correct? So I would not say number 1, do a dummy, nor postpone your attempts. Start your studies in full frame along with articleship, right? Articleship के साथ daily अगर मुझे 3 घंटे भी मिल रहे हैं, I think they're far, understand. And of course weekends. बाकी कुछ नहीं, no parties, nothing doing else. पढ़ाई में लग जाओ 1.5 साल along with articleship, it is still possible. और तब जाकर के अगर let's say September 26 में realize होता है कि नहीं हो रहा है, not possible, that time you can think of doing one group in Jan 27 and then one in May, or think of maybe जब form का last date है तब तक कि भाई अभी postpone, तब तक full fledged में पढ़ाई करो is what I would suggest, going and thinking that exams in Jan 27. Obviously you need not think about whether I should postpone the attempt.
Okay, thank you, sir. Over to Ria.
Yeah, and last was Bilai. So Bikaner branch, if there's anyone from Bikaner.
सब states cover हो गया, मेरे को ऐसा पूरा इंडिया के सब states में हो गया.
Yes, sir. Sir, if they're not here, then maybe if you've missed out any live questions.
This में से तो मैंने ले लिया. I'm just trying to see. Also, 112 have highest penalty, so we should not think even avoid it. Absolutely yes. So any form if you miss, typically the maximum penalty becomes at 10,000. Institute has capped at 10,000 the penalty. Also, अभी कोई फॉर्म नहीं भी मिस करा, अभी तो चलो पहले तो ऑफलाइन होता था तो एंड में सब समझ में आता था. अभी तो आपका एग्जामिनेशन ही नहीं देने देंगे, चीजें वो हो जाएगी because now the portal of student portal examination all trying to link and everything, so that would happen. Also नहीं तो membership बाद में दिक्कत हो जाती है. So if you don't file forms, चलो पहले नहीं पकड़ में आया कुछ तो membership के टाइम पे फिर बहुत दिक्कत होती है. There have been cases where a student is denied membership for 2 years. After becoming CE also, अगर आपने पहले कुछ फॉर्म स्पेसिफिक उसकी चीज है कि 2 साल तक मेंबरशिप, उसमें रूल भी इंस्टीट्यूट में दिया हुआ है, सब कुछ प्रोस्पेक्टस में दिया हुआ है कि you will not be given membership for 2 years, उसके बाद मिलेगी. So जो भी फॉर्म रिक्वायरमेंट होता है, if you don't have, call on the main ICA helpline, that is 9975 9975. If you are still confused, reach out to, I think, any, depending, because you've joined from different CASAs, committee members of your own branch. If not, contact to regional council members, contact to central council members. सबके numbers, email ID, सब कुछ ICI website पे दिया हुआ है. और कहीं से बात नहीं बनेगा तो contact me. Right? I am more than happy to help. Right? So I think all of us are there. So absolutely not a problem. I hope I was able to add a value to each one of you, and whether you've joined on YouTube or over here on Google Meet as well. Yes, Ishwin, go ahead.
Thank you, sir, for giving me one more chance. Actually, I have one last doubt. I could not write my branch, so I think मेरा chance नहीं आया.
No problem.
Sorry, Ria. I am sorry, sir. Sir, मेरा question actually case scenario पे based है. सबसे पहले क्वेश्चन ये है कि does doing specialization from a firm limits my opportunities for a job? Because now we have 3 categories here. पहली कैटेगरी वो है जिसने बिग 4 से स्पेशलाइजेशन किया है, दूसरी कैटेगरी वो है जिसने मिड साइज से काम किया है और सब कवर किया है, और थर्ड कैटेगरी में मेरा डाउट है कि एक पर्सन उस सिटी का है जहाँ पे बिग 4 नहीं है, तो उसने अपनी सिटी की जो बेस्ट फर्म थी, टॉप 3 टॉप 5 जो भी थी, उसमें से उसने ज्वाइन करके स्पेशलाइजेशन कर लिया. अब 2 साल उसने स्टैट ऑडिट किया. अब प्रॉब्लम ये है कि जब वो एक जॉब के लिए जा रहा है तो ना तो उसके पास बिग 4 का ब्रांड नेम है, और ना ही उसके पास एडजस्ट होने की अपॉर्चुनिटी, क्योंकि उसको ऑडिट के अलावा कुछ आता ही नहीं है. तो अब इसमें आई नो कि टेक्निकल नॉलेज मैटर करता है, बट डेफिनेटली बिग फोर हैज गॉट सम एडवांटेज, चाहे वो नॉलेज में हो या नाम में हो. तो ऐसे पर्सन की अपॉर्चुनिटी क्या फ्यूचर में लिमिट होगी?
I'll tell you. Okay. Number one, not really. So as you said कि अगर मैंने मिड साइज से भी लेट्स से सिर्फ स्टैट्यूटरी ऑडिट्स करा हुआ है, करेक्ट, एंड टैक्स नहीं करा हुआ है. सो अगर मुझे टैक्स में जाना ही नहीं है, राइट, अगर मुझे जॉब में करना है, और अगर मुझे जॉब टैक्स में करना है तो दिक्कत आएगा, करेक्ट है. As a interviewer, I will prefer somebody who has done articleship little in tax as compared to somebody who's not done in tax, because इसको शायद चीजें नहीं आती रहेगी, unless इसने बैठ के 2 महीना before getting into the job पूरा टैक्स ऐसा चीजें डाल दिया अपने दिमाग में, right? That is a possibility also. I know such students also. ठीक है. However, अगर ऐसा नहीं है तो अगर उसको let's say finance में जाना है, it's absolutely not a problem. Why? Because you've done audits. What is the finance का pre-1 level और audit का next level is what is finance. राइट. सो अगर मैंने स्टैट्यूटरी ऑडिट सब कुछ करा हुआ है, प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड, वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड, एंड दैट्स व्हाई आई टेल यू कि मिड साइज से भी जब करो तो क्योंकि आपके पास समय होता है, क्योंकि आपके वर्किंग आवर्स कंपैरेटिवली नॉर्मल है, तो मेक श्योर यू इन्वेस्ट टाइम. आपने किसी कंपनी की ऑडिट करी है, उसकी एनुअल रिपोर्ट जाके पढ़ो. इफ नॉट ड्यूरिंग आर्टिकलशिप पढ़ी, क्योंकि हम तभी स्टडीज है, सब कुछ है, नो प्रॉब्लम. जब रिजल्ट सीए फाइनल रिजल्ट और तभी रुके हुए हैं तब जाके पढ़ ले, राइट, सो दैट यू नो थिंग्स becomes essential. So that is what becomes. So you get jobs, of course, in finance. You will get jobs in valuations. Let's say an example. जैसे आपने कहा अपॉर्चुनिटी कम हो जाती है क्या? नहीं, स्टार्टिंग के 2 years के लिए शायद. जैसे कि अगर मैं इंटरव्यूअर हूं और मेरे पास 2 बंदे आते हैं, एक मिड साइज सीए फर्म से ऑडिट किया हुआ है और एक बिग फोर से करा हुआ है, शायद आई मे प्रेफर somebody who's from done from a big four maybe, right? So what I would suggest this guy is, टिपिकली अगर उसको लेट्स से बड़ी कंपनी में नहीं मिल रही है जॉब, नो प्रॉब्लम, टेक अ जॉब ऑफ स्टैट्यूटरी ऑडिट, इफ नॉट इन अ बिग फोर, इन टॉप 6 कंपनीज, वर्क फॉर अ ईयर, वर्क फॉर 2 years. 2 साल के बाद आपने आर्टिकलशिप कहां से क्या टैक्स सब कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता. स्टार्टिंग 2 years शायद यस, राइट. सो उसके बाद इट विल नॉट मैटर उस 2 साल में आपने क्या किया, दैट विल बी मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट. And similarly happens for people who are multiple attempt pass also, right? शायद फर्स्ट जॉब मिलने में, शायद अगर आप फर्स्ट वैसे कैंपस में हो जाता है, we see on LinkedIn everything, फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट आप हो and you do not get at that point in time job in the best companies, no problem. 30 साल काम करने वाले हैं, कितने साल? Dhoni is not ready to retire at 43 if I'm not mistaken, right? 43 is what I had seen an Instagram post, correct? He said 9 months के बाद बताऊंगा मैं इधर रिटायर हो रहा हूँ, नहीं अभी तो नहीं बता रहा, करेक्ट है. So the question is, he is also going to play. सब लोग इधर 30 साल काम करेगा, कितना भी तुम बोल लो, अगर तुम अर्ली रिटायर हो के, रिटायर मतलब कुछ नहीं जिंदगी में करने का. पब्लिक बोलता है रिटायर मतलब क्या, मैं इधर जॉब से रिटायर हो रहा हूं और फिर खुद का कुछ शुरू कर रहे हैं. खुद का शुरू कर रहे हैं तो टाइम तो डालने ही वाला है ना. रिटायर मतलब क्या, गाँव गया, एक मस्त वो छोटा सा घर बनाया, आगे मैं पूरा दिन कुछ नहीं कर रहा हूं, नेटफ्लिक्स, राइट. So the question is, starting में शायद yes, I have got people who have typically let's say cleared in 4th attempt, 5th attempt also. They could not get into big four. They started maybe a mid-size firm, higher top 6, top 10 companies, worked there for 1 year, 2 year, and then they were able to shift and move ahead. So आप स्टार्टिंग में, जैसे हम बोलते हैं ना कि स्कूल में फर्स्ट रैंक करता है, लास्ट बेंचर था, वो अब जाकर के लास्ट बेंचर नहीं रहा, राइट, जैसे ये सब. सो सिमिलरली इज लाइक दैट कि स्टार्टिंग में शायद फर्क पड़ेगा कि वेदर फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट वाले को पहले अच्छा वाला जॉब मिल गया, बट आफ्टर पॉइंट इन टाइम प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड, एंड वी नीड टू थिंक फ्रॉम कंपनीज ऑल्सो. जैसे हम बहुत सारे पोस्ट देखते हैं, एंड आई वांट टू से इट WICASA आल्सो ऑन लिंक्डइन एवरीथिंग, कि कंपनीज ऐसा बेंचमार्क रख रही है, फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट, सेकंड अटेम्प्ट मार्क्स. इज देयर इन इंडिया इन एजुकेशन अदर इवैल्यूएशन मैट्रिक्स? हाउ डू आई अंडरस्टैंड वेदर आई शुड टेक रिया इन माय कंपनी और ईश्विन in my company? Unfortunately, results are the only way in front of the interviewer also, no? And वो 4 questions accordingly पूछेगा, तो उस question के जिस हिसाब से आप जवाब दोगे, accordingly आप चीजें करोगे ना. आप questions के answers में लड़खड़ा जाओगे तो वो बंदा कैसे लेगा, unless आप उतना well prepare कर लो. I have got people, I had this one of my close friend, मतलब उसका effort making level is at another level in spite of being a ranker. So he had done articleship, and I would not want to say his name because he'll kill me. He had done articleship from his dad. ठीक है, बट वो डेडिकेटेड है तो वो बंदा आर्टिकलशिप जाता था. बट जैसे तुम लोग ने क्विकली स्माइल कर दिया ना, मैंने डैड का फॉर्म नाम बोला तो, राइट, क्या सोचा कि पप्पा के पास आर्टिकलशिप है तो क्या ही करा होगा, राइट, एग्जैक्टली, ही न्यू दिस वुड ऑलवेज कम इन हिज प्लेस. वो जब रिजल्ट के बाद इंटरव्यूज के लिए उसका बहुत क्लियर था, बिग 4 में ही वांटेड टू डू इन टैक्स. मैं ये सेम दोस्त की बात कर रहा हूँ क्योंकि मेरे को टैक्स नहीं पसंद था, उसको ऑडिट नहीं पसंद था. एंड हिज फादर यूज्ड टू टेल बोथ ऑफ अस कि तुम दोनों प्रैक्टिस करो बिकॉज वी बोथ लाइक ऑपोजिट थिंग्स. आई वांटेड टू डू ऑडिट्स, ही वांटेड टू डू टैक्स, के मर्ज होके भाई बड़ा चलेगा. एंड वी आर लाइक जरा भी नहीं. ही वांटेड अ जॉब इन अ बिग 4 इन टैक्स. ही न्यू ये वाला प्रॉब्लम आएगा. उसने 10 डेज में पूरा सीए फाइनल का टैक्स वापस रिवाइज किया. एंड ही हैड अ रैंक इन सीए फाइनल. ही हैड रैंक इन फाउंडेशन इंटर आल्सो. फाइनल क्या मैं बोल रहा हूँ, ही हैड रैंक ऑल थ्रू आउट. उसने बिफोर द जॉब पूरा टैक्स वापस ऐसा ठाक 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 रिवाइज किया बैठ के. 10 डेज जो क्या कर रहा है, कहीं नहीं रिवाइज करूँ शू. आई एम लाइक ओके, लाइक अ सीए फाइनल एग्जाम, बिकॉज ही वांटेड टू मेक श्योर कि इंटरव्यूअर टैक्स सेक्शन कुछ भी पूछे उसको ऐसा तड़ाक जवाब आना चाहिए. बिकॉज ही वांटेड टू. उसको जॉब भी मिल गया. उसी बिग 4 के 2 साल के बाद ही गॉट शिफ्टेड टू लंडन ऑल्सो. So he was with that big 4 then in London also 2 years because कुछ पैसे भी वो था. So similarly हमको करना पड़ेगा. So हम बोलो मेरे को इक्विटी रिसर्च में जाने का है, लेकिन इक्विटी में चीजें कैसे होती है मुझे पता नहीं, तो कोई पैसा थोड़ी देगा मेरे को सीए बनने के बाद 50, 60, 70 हजार. We will have to learn and go is what I'm saying, right? So starting में you might get into a small firm, no problem, right? So जैसे आपने कहा यशविन कि स्टैटॉइड उधर उस सिटी के शायद टॉप फॉर्म में करा हुआ है, विच यहाँ पे बिग 4 वगैरह कंपनीज में नहीं मिल रहा है. नो प्रॉब्लम, वर्क एट अ कंपैरेटिवली लोअर इन दिस सिटी. 1 year डन, आप होशियार हो, सब कुछ है तो बस चीजें आगे हो जाएगी, कोई लोड नहीं है, राइट? थैंक यू. एनी मोर डाउट्स? क्या बात है, आज तो एकदम डाउट्स के बहुत सारे. यस विनायक ने आई थिंक विनायक ने जितने हंसी वाले स्माइलीज भेजे है ना पूरे 2 घंटे में, ये बाकी सब लोग की प्लस प्लस करेंगे तब जाके विनायक की इक्वल हो जाएगी. बोलो विनायक. देखो वापस भेज रहा. या विनायक had raised his hand. Did you raise his hand just to send a smiley, or was there a question? Go ahead, Riya. Over to you.
Hello. Yeah.
Yes, Vinayak.
Oh, sorry, I was speaking on mute mic. Sorry.
No problem.
I was telling कि जैसे IITs में they have a 4 years का period college life का, है ना? They used to explore, they can build things, they can learn, है ना? But CA वाला चीज में एक होता है कि 2 साल के आर्टिकलशिप है, उसमें भी यार वर्किंग इन ऑफिस आवर्स, लेट नाइट, पढ़ाई भी करनी है. तो यार मतलब ये एंटरप्रेन्योर जर्नी और जो भी होता है प्रोडक्ट बिल्डिंग और एक्सप्लोरिंग, वो हो ही नहीं पाता लाइक 99% ऑफ द केसेस में कि आप कुछ आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स हो. लाइक रिसेंटली आई वाज बिल्डिंग अ, जैसे आई एनालाइज कि हमारे ऑफिस में लाइक देयर वाज अ प्रॉब्लम कि दे वर मेकिंग फिजिकल रजिस्टर ऑफ डीएससी, डीएससी, डिजिटल सिग्नेचर, राइट? तो व्हाट आई फिगर्ड आउट कि अगर इसको अपन कंप्यूटर में फिट करें, विल क्रिएट अ प्रोग्राम आउट ऑफ इट, तो मैनुअल की जगह ऑटोमेटेड हो जाएगा. जो भी एम्प्लॉय ऐड करेगा अपना अकाउंट, जो भी है, कौन साइन करे, कौन ऑप्ट इन करे, कौन ऑप्ट आउट करे, तो एक डिजिटली हो जाएगा. बट लाइक मेनी ऑफ देम मतलब सीए में मिल ही नहीं पाता है जो एक आईआईटीएंस वाली चीज से मिलता है ना कि 4 साल की कॉलेज जर्नी में. तो डू यू स्टिल फील कि यार ऐसा कुछ होना चाहिए कि कुछ और तो एक्सप्लोर कर पाए अदर देन फाइनेंस?
वेरी गुड, थैंक यू फॉर दैट क्वेश्चन विनायक. नंबर 1 इज मेरे चाहने ना चाहने से कुछ नहीं होता. आईसीआई के चाहने ना चाहने से बहुत कुछ हो जाएगा. दैट्स नंबर 1. नंबर 2, let's understand CA course is designed and structured in a very different manner. An IITian course is structured in a very different manner, correct? CA course is not a full-time course. It's distance. अगर आप कोई भी बाहर के दूसरे फॉर्म करोगे तो what type of course आपने full time education किया है, क्या है जो CA को supposed to be a distance learning course, right? We call it distance learning and not a full time. Number 2, I agree to the fact that because we do not have a college life. I'll tell you what, I have a lot of people who do. I don't know whether somebody is from there here or not. ये तो हम 12वीं के बाद आर्टिकलशिप शुरू करते हैं, फाउंडेशन इंटर सब शुरू कर रहे हैं ना. आई हैव गॉट स्टूडेंट्स जिन्होंने टॉप ग्रेजुएशन कॉलेजेस से बीकॉम करा हुआ है. Imagine a student who is doing from SRCC in Delhi. Do you know when does he do an articleship? He does an articleship after finishing his graduation from SRCC and then maybe starting an articleship. I had an article, my own article, who was from Christ College, Bangalore. उनका कॉलेज का टाइमिंग होता था सुबह 8 से शाम के 4. ये कॉलेज ऑफिशियल कॉलेज टाइमिंग्स. फिर एक्स्ट्रा सब जैसे आपने कहा ना प्रोजेक्ट कुछ करना है. So he started articleship after graduation, right? So typically, no doubt, those people used to do that. So no doubt, our course is not structured in that manner. However, if you say you would want to still explore other things and everything, that's why I said, then do an articleship from a smaller firm, which gives you time. Example, me, I did my articleship from 3 different places. I never went to a big four. तभी transfers were allowed and सब सहमति से मैं transfer ले लेता था. बॉस को बहुत प्यार से सर, राइट? तो बॉस एकदम खुश थे हमारे पे. सो 3 and हमारे तो 3.5 years वाली आर्टिकलशिप थे. सो टिपिकली व्हाई? बिकॉज स्मॉलर फॉर्म, बिकॉज आई वांटेड टू डू अ लॉट ऑफ अदर को-करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज. मेरे को डांस भी करना था, एलोक्यूशंस में जाना था, फेस्टिवल सेलिब्रेट करना था, फ्रेंड्स के साथ घूमने जाना था. करेक्ट है? सो देन आई वुड डू दैट. सो दैट इज ऑलवेज अ पॉसिबिलिटी विनय कि चीजें आपको ओवर एंड अबव. व्हाई? बिकॉज यू कैन नॉट कंपेयर courses. Their college course is different. Imagine somebody who's doing a doctor medicals. वो बोलेगा अरे यार मेरी जिंदगी में तो कुछ नहीं है. Imagine somebody becoming a doctor. 20 साल डॉक्टर हो जाने के बाद भी उसको रात को 2 बजे भी उठना पड़ता है कभी भी. Because you've chosen that life, right? Right. So that is what it is. And as Ria rightly said, I think what CASAs have done today across the CASAs, I think फिर वो CICASA हो, NICASA हो, WICASA हो, and all the branches everywhere, ICASA हो, everywhere across. I think when I because I'm connected with most Instagrams also, मतलब things that बस मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ, वो कॉलेज लाइफ आप चीजें वहीं कर रहे हो. So what else? So I would just tell all of you CASA, make sure आपके कांटेक्ट में, आपके ब्रांच में जितने भी बच्चे आ जाए, वो IT, OT, आर्टिकल, make sure they become a part of CASA. Right? Becomes extremely essential. ऐसा नहीं किसी, I understand not everybody can come full time and everything. वो एक इवेंट में तो आए, 6 महीने में एक इवेंट में तो आने को क्या दिक्कत है? इतना कौन से बिजी हम लोग, right? So you just have to give that motivation. You've seen on the dance floor, there are 2 type of people on the dance floor on a DJ. एक होता है जैसे रिया को बोला रिया डांस करने जाएगी, रिया विल बी लाइक चलो, तो रिया सबसे पहले डांस फ्लोर में कूद गई, right? Somebody second होगा, लेट्स से कौशिक को बोला, कौशिक बोलेगा नहीं. कौशिक को 2 दोस्तों में बोला नहीं. कौशिक को थोड़ा खींचा नहीं. कौशिक को पूरा खींच के सेंटर में डाल दिया तो कौशिक तो पूरा नाचने लग जाता है, right? So if there are some people who need that little motivation push, we'll have to give it. So all of you CASAs, my request is make sure that आपके branches में जितने बच्चे, make them a part of all of you, so that they'll learn and go, they'll increase things and go, and they'll become better otherwise. I hope I have answered your question, Vinayak. विनायक गायब हो गया. ओके, लवली.
नहीं सर, यही है. थैंक यू सर.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So, sir, I think all the questions are solved.
I have one query.
All right, yeah.
Sir, as you said earlier that there's a lot of opportunity coming for the practices, but for the new practice, it took around 5 to 6 years to be make my firm established or getting new connection of clients. But if you see my Dhanbad, which is a small city, it took more than 5 to 6 years to make practice, to gain clients, to make my firm well established. So how can I am thinking to do practice after my CA. So how can I build it earlier so that I have?
Okay. Number one, because of course, because different cities would have their own challenges, no doubt. At that point in time, मुझे 5-6 साल बहुत ज्यादा लग जाता है. मैं I feel typically 2 years में और 3 years में break even should not be that difficult. When I use the word break even, माने आप average salary जो एक CA की वो निकाल पा रहे हो in 3 years, no doubt. Number 2, when I say a lot of opportunities are available, see, please understand, every city would have different opportunities, right? So then if you realize कि a particular opportunity आपके city में नहीं है, we'll have to go little out. in terms of going out, understanding. We should not be in CAs, we've seen a lot of us are not ready to move out otherwise and, maybe explore. I think we should do that. So as Mayank rightly said, possibly every city would have its own challenges to whether wahan pe itna practice ka scope. Again, each city wise also there may not be utna practice ka scope also. So that we'll have to understand at your own city level कि इधर कितना क्या industry है. I would always say 2 महीना लगा लो, बैठ जाओ 9 घंटा दिन का. Imagine 2 months, 60 days, 9 hours every day. कि आपकी सिटी में कितना क्या है. अगर लेट्स से मुझे एक एजुकेशनिस्ट बनना है, मैं क्या करूंगा? मैं मेरे एरिया वगैरह में कितनी स्कूल्स है, कितनी कॉलेजेस है या कितनी बिल्डिंग्स है, इनटू मल्टीप्लाई हर घर में कितने ऑन एन एवरेज बच्चे हैं, राइट? मैं चेक कर लूंगा अकॉर्डिंगली. या तुम अगर चेक कर लो कितनी क्या इंडस्ट्री है. सो आई थिंक डिटेल्ड अपने अपने सिटी में चीजें, हैव वी अप्रोच्ड एवरीवन, becomes most essential. मतलब पहुंच जाओ उनके ऑफिस में. So when I started teaching years back, I would go randomly to every college. I would look for a visiting faculty. This is my CV. शायद 50 कॉलेज जाएगा तब शायद वो 1-2 कॉलेज बोलता था हाँ भाई आ जाते. But we would have to do that, and then that recommendation would go. So Mayank, that is a possibility, but I would say 6 years itna nahi lagna chahiye mere hisab se. You'll have to be very strong in networking. Also, once you're practicing, what is important, not just doing work, but getting work. You should go out, get work, connect. I think today, via social media, everything, networking has become huge. The way, in fact, this today's example, the CASAs have, come together. We're from different cities, we're meeting each other. I think that's the best example. What other than this? So definitely yes, unless see, it all depends whether you are interested in what. So if you see an opportunity for you, a job is better at that point in time. It's absolutely not, a problem. Take a job along with साथ में develop करते रहो and then leave them a job and then start into practice. You could do that as well. Right, Mayank? Lovely. Before Ria ends, and I hope I was able to do justice to each one of you here. In case of anything, if you write my correct spelling on any social media, LinkedIn, Instagram, anything, there's only one profile to find me. That's Hrudyesh Pankhania. And thank you once again, all the WICASAs who've been there and the entire committee. Thank you, Ria, for that excellent moderation. And definitely thank you, Shailesh Bhai, for being there, organizing this. Thank you so much. Yes, Ria, over to you.
Yeah, so I actually would like to hand over the session to Narayan Vyas, Vice Chairperson. Yeah, to give the vote of thanks.
Good evening, respected mentors and my dear friends. I am Narayan Vyas, Vice Chairman of Surat Branch of WICASA. First of all, on behalf of Surat Branch of WICASA, I would sincerely like to thank CA Hrudyesh Pankhania sir, for his deep insights. Genuinely, sir, this was amazing session. And the examples and the stories you shared were just amazing. And the way you answered all the queries of the students was just commendable, sir. Even I would say that it is always melody to our ears to hear you out. Thank you so much, sir, for being present here.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Narayan, Ria. Thank you, Shailesh, sir. Thank you all the CASAs. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It was superb. Really, it was superb, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Also, we would love to extend heartfelt gratitude to CA Jitendra Saglani sir, Chairman of WICASA WIRC. And last but not least, special thanks to the Chairman and Managing Committee members of Bengaluru branch, Bhilai branch, Bhopal branch, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar branch, Dhanbad branch, Gandhidham branch, Ghaziabad branch, Guwahati branch, Rajkot branch, and Raipur branch. Thank you so much, guys, for collaborating with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.